Welcome back. Today, our party, which has still yet to name itself more than a year into the game, continues its investigation into the plague afflicting Delosian refugees, at least only them for now, in the city of Teoquithlatoyotepetl. And yes, I actually said today. Alongside other issues affecting the city guard, including a growing number of corrupt officers on the force and a recent break-in at a small armory where weapons, armor, and most importantly, guard uniforms and identification materials were stolen. Presented with multiple simultaneous objectives, the party chose to focus on the plague, and they began their investigation by speaking to the de facto leader of the camp, a former Watch commander and civic officer rumored to have a draconic lineage named... What's his name, guys? I know you know it.
Rasputin.
Ravioli.
Rodishman.
I fucking hate you people sometimes.
The man of many names.
Yeah.
Radagast.
You tried.
No, you didn't. You didn't try at all.
Come on,
Fucking say you tried.
You walked right into that. Come on.
Oh, I know. I just was hoping for a level of maturity that I in retrospect, was completely
The fuck
never
do you
going
think
to happen.
you are? A goddamn church?
Yeah.
Since when is there maturity at church? Come on. All right. After speaking with Radomir, the party split up and spoke again to several others in the camp, leading learning that some individuals had noticed an odd creature in the water, which I again will reiterate is not a kappa. Similar description be damned. They also learned that a number of the younger and more hot-headed individuals within the camp were preparing for direct conflict with the town, and ended up talking one of the leaders out of it, and Torn beat the other into submission at the end of the session. Inside this secret, for lack of a better term, I guess, base camp of the rebellious refugees, they located some of the missing armor and weapons, not all of it, and notably, none of the uniforms or actual guard badges and other forms of ID. It's not really badges per se, but you get my point.
The uniforms itself.
A gnome apparently named Penelope was responsible for the break-in, but slipped away during the melee to somewhere. They also learned that an orc within the camp appeared to have gotten sick with the plague, but was not getting any worse as of yet, several days on. And we're told to look for his brother Karsk Bearbreaker, which I don't know how he got the name. Well, maybe I do. In the eastern camp. They were also pointed to what the locals are at least calling a raving madman, Timur Altergun, who most view as having gone insane, as he's constantly rambling about something in the water and seems to have an incredibly nervous personality as of late. Meanwhile, the captain of the guard is still expecting them at his office sometime in the morning to tackle the issue of the corrupt officers in the armory break-in. As a reminder, the way in and out of the camp closes at 1. Where they go today? Hell, I don't even think they know, but we're sure in for a show. With that, it is 10 a.m. Day is yours.
Jeez.
What?
Okay, so we know Penelope is involved in the corruption ring.
Well, that's what
Yes.
that's what we're
Do you?
assuming right now.
We know
Well, we know-
knocked out knows a couple of these guards are corrupt. Maybe when he's a little bit more awake and willing, he'll give us the names. We can give that to the guardsmen. They'd maybe be a little happy.
All we really know about Penelope
Bring him to the
is
guard.
she has broken into the armory once before.
And that she gave some of what she stole to the refugees, or to
Yes.
these certain group of refugees.
Probably in an attempt to incite some violence. Maybe she was trying to coax or coerce some something into happening. But if we're gonna figure out anything else, we either need to find the Pork Brothers or the Raving Madman. One of the two.
Well, splitting up the first time worked. Why not split up again?
Yeah.
You weren't really told where you might find the quote-unquote raving madman and Timur. You were told that in the East Camp, in one of the permanent buildings where there's a bit of an infirmary, is where you'd find the sick orc and his brother's likely not far.
Right, well, we know where one guy is. Maybe we would just bump into the raving man on the way there.
Let's try it. Head
Very
to the
well.
east camp.
Setting off,
There you
setting the scene is virtually the same as last time. You see that as we're getting later in the morning, the fires that were used to cook meals are all being extinguished, save those being used to boil water from the river itself. As I said in last session, the majority of the camp is having to survive on the water from the river, which, as a reminder, is flowing downstream past the camp, so they're dealing with city waste as well. Hence, intensive boiling is required. Going by, you do see several sick individuals, most of which are being cared for in the shade to the best of the ability, but some people have actually, who are potentially, at this stage, it's not clear if they have the plague or just malaria, which is also a present condition here. Roll Constitution, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off, I'll give you malaria, and Belgoris isn't here to use lay on hands.
Oh no.
Yes. Some people are actually being floated in the water, basically, as a means of trying to keep their temperatures down because they're getting very high fevers. However, the camp is still a hive of activity. People are doing whatever they can to manufacture clothing, trying and build up some of the more permanent structures with the limited amount of wood they have on hand, processing firewood processing food, and a lot of idling about without much purpose or work to do. It's a very busy yet bored mood to the entire camp in a lot of ways, with this kind of dark, ominous tone overhanging it, as many of these people fear they're next. Eventually, though, you do come upon the first group of actual wooden structures, farmers like work housing that used to work these formerly crop fields, now mostly mud fields. Well, it's peeking through the open windows, which do not have glass. They have like rattan sheets that can kind of be closed to keep at least the big bugs out. The interior of the first one is more or less empty. There are a lot of improvised beds as well as bunks built up. Looks to be a bunkhouse. No one seems to be present at the time, save a couple of individuals just kind of sitting about without any obvious signs of illness, and not an orc among them.
Okay. That's
Rolling through.
trying to remember exactly how we ended the night though. So
Eventually, you poke your way into another building and do finally come across what you can only gather is a bit of an improvised infirmary. There is no furniture left in this room. It appears that everything was brought to the next two buildings. Here, instead, you see 12 or so individuals lying on the ground. Most appear to be fairly ill. Yet it's quiet. Few people are crying out in pain or agony. Most just seem exhausted, overwhelmed, and for the most part silent. Carrying over them, you see a couple of individuals. You see a younger human woman with kind of ratty-looking brown hair who doesn't appear to have been able to maintain that very well in some time. Her hair tied back into a loose ponytail, formerly white clothes, heavily stained, who seems to be bringing water to at least some of the injured. And just from looking at them, you get the impression not many of these people will make it. In the far, far corner, though, you do see another hulking figure sitting on the ground next to another similar-looking individual on the ground. Green skin and dark black hair of an orc, facing away from you at this time.
There's our men.
At least one of them. But Garage or Roxby, you want to go talk to him?
Priest.
I love that. The similarity is what.
Oh, it's like, just because we're orcs, we all know each other?
yeah. You know how it
Oh,
is. You know.
also,
All
oh,
Tabaxi must know each other clearly too. As I say, as I like smile.
he almost
and
looks
walk
at you, Rocks, with fucking
Why do you
daggers.
greenskins act like your people?
Go be useful.
Anywho, I walk on over and clear my throat to try and get the attention of the one sitting. So,
Kind of like glance over his shoulder with a quizzical, like, haven't seen you around before. Who are you?
my name is Roxby, and I wish to speak
no,
with you.
thanks.
And sorry,
What?
I apologize if I'm coming at a bad time. I wanted to speak about your brother's condition.
Anything you can do to help?
We're trying to see if we can do something to help. Figure out where it's coming from, figure out how to stop it.
You're a priest.
I am, yes.
Come here.
Okay.
He's been rambling. He's been rambling as of late. Maybe you can make some sense of it, but I don't know what we'll learn. We talked to the guards that came through. We talked to those doctors, clerics, or whatever the fuck they were at the hospital. No one seems to know. They all think he's got something other than this plague. I gotta change the music. This is getting very confusing.
Music.
It was called Fortune Teller. It's not what I put on. So. Yeah, and you look at the man lying on the ground before you, and you see a younger orc man, about your age actually, Rox, though, without the gray hair and dashing good looks that you have for unknown reasons, but whatever. You see a very haggard-looking individual. His eyes are and his skin is very sallow and sunken. His eyes like almost glazed over. His eyes are open, but there's almost no focus, no presence there. As if he's somewhere else. His body is covered in wet rags that are being replaced constantly, trying to keep him cool. And even just getting near him, you could feel the heat radiating off of him with this incredible fever that he seems to be running. And as he sweats profusely. Periodically, his brother offers him some water, and he seems to be able to drink, but that's about all you're getting out of him in terms of actual
Ingestion.
Yeah. It looks like he's slowly wasting away. But slowly.
What can you tell me, young man? What can you hear?
He doesn't talk much these days. Sometimes he has moments of clarity when the fever drops or gets cooler in the evenings sometimes, but that's about all.
What do you recall him saying to you in those moments where he was having those episodes? Anything you can say helps.
It's not a ton he will talk about. Keeps talking about our parents. He's been confused, asking when we're going home. He's talked about wanting to go fishing. We saw an alligator. He was excited about that, apparently. We haven't seen any, so I don't know where he saw it, but it's good to see him smile, even if it's due to raving insanity.
Is this potentially memories he's having? Do you remember maybe he encountered an alligator at a younger age?
You're from our homeland. Since when have we had alligators in the cold?
You could be explorers too. But I digress. My point being,
Played the forest. There's alligators in Canada, bro.
There are no alligators in Dolos. There are crocodiles in the east, offshore, but they're rare and they don't come to the west. At the cold water from Marrakesh, it's not exactly suitable for them, but that's I don't even know if he'd know that. There's no alligators. We can say that with confidence.
Fair enough.
Look, I don't really know what you're trying to do here, but I don't think there's much to get from him.
There might be something. But it's tricky.
What would you like to do?
One of the abilities that you gave me, Mind Delve.
Yes, you could.
At least from what I'm seeing, as what it can do. I'm not gonna consume it, I'm just gonna post it so that you know what it is.
No, I remember what it is. You will consume it if you use it.
Yep.
You can also try making a medicine check, trying to examine him in more detail. You know, there's choices here. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I was
US
hoping that if
walks
it
walks in after, well, Roxby and
Come on. Rox, what were you saying you were hoping to do?
I was hoping to see if that maybe if the young man were to be able to speak in a moment of clarity, I could use some maybe insight, see if I
Okay.
can see if maybe he said something more religious or I don't know.
Are you kind of
But
looking him over, trying to get more info from him?
yeah, like the medicine check's a good idea, but pretty much everyone here is sick and everyone's suffering from high fevers. Everyone's
Yeah, I
having a
feel like
hard
if we just
time.
asked, if you
Difference.
just asked one of the workers, they would probably tell you about as much as you would know.
Yeah.
Unless somebody else in this party is a secret medical professional, Sebastian doesn't know.
I think Belgoris had proficiency in medicine.
Yeah. I
Belcourse
think
isn't
the
here.
idea of mind delve is
Yeah,
a
he
good
has
idea.
proficiency in medicine.
I
That's an
think mind
interesting
delve is
idea.
I think mind delve's a
Wait,
good
he has
idea, and
proficiency
then
in
we
medicine?
can.
That has some dark implications.
But yeah,
He knows the
we'll
perfect
try and
artery.
Yes, he does.
divulge
Yes.
what we learn.
But yeah, I mean, how about you make a medicine check as you're trying to do this, QS?
Sure, as I
Medicine?
just keep
No.
eyeing over him.
Yeah.
Medicine.
Rock's got a 24 in medicine.
Yeah, we're taking Rox's role. Looking over him, Rox. Now, you had some actual time in the hospital with these other patients, and there's something different about this one. All the signs point to him having the same condition, but it doesn't seem to be holding him as strongly, and it doesn't seem to be as intense. It's like he only got a little sick, which is, I know, a ridiculous way of saying it, but it's almost like something stopped it from taking hold. And while it won't leave on its own, with a 24, you get the suspicion that his current state might be curable.
QS
You know-
uses her Mind Delve on him. Granted, since he's in a vegetative state.
Your surface level thoughts are very confused, very just momentary flashes of things. You see images of a cold, war-torn landscape. You see images of fields of dead. You see a home burning. You see his brother running. You see him running. You see individuals on horses in black suits of armor. You see a ship. You see a shark. You see a ship sinking. You see him in the water swimming. You get little images, little bits and pieces here and there, and they kind of go in a loop. They cycle back to the beginning. That same
That's
cloud
basically he's in a fever dream.
seems to be.
QS tries to organize it just a little.
Okay.
Try and focus on more.
Do you want to try and do the deeper dive?
Yep.
See what beyond the surface level thoughts? Okay. One moment.
Is QS relaying these things to us?
At the moment, no.
So, yeah, it's going to be a wisdom save for them, which I'm going to give them disadvantage on, as they are very much not in a state to truly resist.
Well, it's also a disadvantage at base level, so.
Yeah, but they can't have double disadvantage. That is a 9. So yeah, you are very easily able to push past what limited mental barriers seem to be intact. And as you look deeper, many of the thoughts are very similar, but there's a little bit more order to it. It seems to be circling back to a certain point. You see the jungle. You see him and his brother and others working, chopping wood, gathering plants. You see a single tabaxi with mottled red fur who seems to be leading them, or at least instructing them. You see the group of workers gathering around a large cauldron and eating some sort of stew from it. You see them going and bathing in the river afterwards. You see confusion, someone leaving the water in a hurry. You see a creature, more so just a shadow under the water. Not like any fish, not like anything you've really seen before. You see a fine mist rolling over the water. And you're back in the jungle. And you're chopping wood.
Hmm.
What exactly are you doing to my brother?
Basically, doing looking through his memories, what I can glimpse from what has already been in the mind, essentially. And it's not. How long has it been since your brother was on one of the groups that goes out into the jungle?
The day he got sick. Well, the day before. That was 8 days ago now. I've still been on a few since, but mostly just staying here.
Did he tell you what he's been eating out there? Eating out there.
Stars is usually feeding us. I don't know what he's cooking, but it's good.
Stars. A local
Uh,
tabaxi?
Yeah, cat fella. He's one of the only people, well, one of the only cats who seems to give a fuck about us. Actually lives just outside the camp. Trying to help teach us how to survive out here. He's a good fellow.
Okay.
Bit of a flirt, which is kind of amusing because he does not know how to flirt to orc women, and he's tried several times, and it is just a show.
Well, tabaxi are very more used to how, well, we normally intermingle. I guess it would be the more appropriate word.
Yeah, it sounds like this town's gonna be fun once they finally let us in.
Has your brother mentioned anything about a fog on the water?
Fog? Not to my knowledge. Someone saw something in the water when we were down. Actually, no, she mentioned when we were done with that last work detail. Someone saw something in the water. He went to look at it, said he didn't see anything. That's about it. Nothing about a fog, just some shadow. Something in the water. No. Some big fish, for all I know. Maybe that's where he thinks he saw an alligator. Maybe it was.
If it was an alligator, he would be dead.
I don't know. He's damn near
Is-
there anyway.
If there's anything we do know right now, this is the second time we've heard of water being part of the equation. This gives us some clearer idea of what might be going on.
Yeah.
I need to find. Do you know where the stars is?
He's probably leading another work detail on the main shore.
Now, Rox, I will say, if you want to try magic as an option,
Yeah, I was actually thinking of trying just a little bit of something if you'd like. I would like to use Lesser Restoration if you'd like. Even if it doesn't cure him immediately, it can lower his fever for a couple hours.
Anything you think can help, please.
All right, and as I say that, I place my hands on his one on his chest and one on his head, and my hands will glow lightly, and you'll see that he takes the younger orc takes like a deep breath, almost as if like at the very least he's not congested right now. He
Yeah.
can take a couple deeper breaths. His
You
body
see
is
him. You see
cooling
him
a
begin to
little.
squirm a little, not like he's uncomfortable, like he's waking up. And as you still have your hand on his head, you can almost in real time feel the temperature beginning to return towards normal. Kind of shakes his head, and he just. Drenik, the older orc goes in like, Drenik,
Can you stop sitting on me? No one's sitting on you. Oh, fuck, everything hurts. Oh, where am I?
Infirmary, young man.
Well, makeshift infirmary.
Always got to be literal, AQS. Anyways, I look back down at the young man. How are you feeling right now?
Like I just got in a boxing match with the Goliath.
Sickness will do that to you.
Speaking of someone that's gotten in a boxing match with the Goliath.
Oh, it's not that bad. Greenskins are always complaining.
No.
That's the person that looks like they're about 3 shades from dying.
Says the individual looks like he belongs as a display in a jewelry store.
Oh, you're a fun youngster.
Fucking hell.
can you help? And you see his cars begins to like help him, not to his feet, but to sitting position. He's looks like, fucking hell.
Do you feel nauseous any? Do you need a bucket, sir?
I don't think I need a bucket.
All right. Well,
You need some booze?
we need to talk.
What do you have?
His eyes
He's-
glance-
What do you have?
I don't think I have anything, but I'm pretty sure one of our
Why'd you-
member.
Oh, fucking
Well, I know.
Oh, it is a second day, isn't it? I've got this jug here. I'm gonna pull out the alchemy jug.
What's in the
It's been 24 hours.
It has, yes.
I don't know. Name something.
Well, he just kind of looks at his brother, or like looking for answers, and Garth's like, I don't know. Ale?
Are we gonna say they'll have to do ale? It's not on there. We have beer, wine, and then
It's
we
a
added.
type of beer. Ale is
Yeah,
a type
so-
of beer, I'd argue.
Okay, we'll just let it. Okay. All right. Does anybody have a? Sebastian's gonna look into the jug and he's gonna speak into it and just say, "Ale." Like a megaphone.
You know how you blow over a bottle and make a noise? I imagine you just feel like
Yeah.
ale right at the edge.
It echoes back at me. Ale. All right. Does anybody have a cup?
Karis just produces like this wooden mug that's just sitting there.
All right. Sebastian's gonna pour him. Is gonna pour him a cup of ale from a 4 gallons worth of somehow produced ale from nowhere.
Now that is a cool piece of kit. Where'd you get that?
Frankly, I don't remember. I just know it's a joy to have.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Although I've never figured out Although I've never really figured out why it can produce mayonnaise. We tried it as a joke one day, and then it just there was a whole day where they just yes, for like 2 gallons worth of mayonnaise. I can't imagine why you need that.
Garish, I can't help you with that. The only one who can speak all those languages is your wife and Sebastian.
I'm just complaining. Leave me be.
Then why are you complaining to me?
He's complaining in some fucking eldritch language.
No,
How
no,
about that?
that was a
You made a
genuine
dog hair, man?
question.
Yeah, so I didn't answer because we were in the middle, but I can go back and
Yeah.
answer your first one, which is that, yes, you were described a mosasaur, which is a bit bigger than what they seem to be describing here. Because that'd be very noticeable in the shallow water. Mostly because it'd be only halfway in the water.
Oh, you guys saw a
But-
mosasaur.
What's the most?
Didn't the guy writing it get described as alligator-like also?
Yes, he is somewhere between a dragonborn and a
Oh.
crocodile. It's hard to describe exactly what he is.
That's what I was
Oh,
trying
yes.
to confirm.
Yes.
But I was trying to confirm it with a party member, not the DM.
Yeah.
That's
you
the
guys,
problem here.
Use your
You guys
voice.
meant it.
Say it out loud. Like,
I'm not trying to speak out loud because I wasn't trying to worry the fucking people in the camp.
okay, it's okay.
Oh, they don't know what an alligator is, but you saw an alligator back in the day.
We were told to watch out for alligators, actually. Apparently they are common. Apparently they can get big.
Oh yes, alligators can get very large.
Speaking of which, did you guys keep that hide or did we sell that? I can't remember. Never mind.
I
probably
don't see it in the
ship.
party inventory.
Yeah. Also can't remember if that was the small
What?
alligator you skinned or the giant one.
When was this?
Like last year sometime. And you were
I
going
was
up
gonna
river.
say. Oh, that one. It was a small one, and no, we didn't keep it.
Okay. Got it. Just couldn't remember.
I remember only because I was the one that did it.
Yeah, I just imagine you did keep it, and then eventually Ciro had to throw it off the ship as it was rotting.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This goddamn alligator. Goddamn
Anyway.
right off to my ship.
But
Yeah, basically you just have a pair of very thankful orcs in front of you at this point. I don't know what further questions you have for them.
Well, the only other real question we have is if he can be able to identify what he saw.
what? Where?
Well, prior to you getting sick, our understanding is you saw something in the water within the mist. Is there any?
No, I didn't see what was in the water. There was just a shape, but it left. The weird thing is the fog that came in afterwards. It left, and then there was like, I don't know, like a cloud of just mist rolled off the water and down towards the shore. I was right in the middle of it. Do you think
You were in the mist,
Yeah.
and you possibly breathed it in.
Are you? Is that how I got sick?
I roll medicine to see if that's how you got sick.
You can try.
Worth a shot. Oh,
Sounds reasonable.
At this point, any theory is possible on how this sickness is going around.
You're not so
Available.
sure, but you've heard that bad smells can cause people to get sick.
Yeah, I don't. He just smelled a rotting corpse and everyone's just really sick from rotting corpse smell, which would be super believable, actually.
But you guys also need to solve the rotting corpse pile problem.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it, we're making rolls here.
Sebastian, you have heard of certain ailments that are spread through the air. And you've also, in your vast history, know of some arcane plagues that were spread through similar clouds. Those usually took a more nefarious color to them. They weren't usually easily mistaken for mist. You see a big red cloud rolling through a valley, it'd be a bit concerning, and suddenly everyone's a zombie.
Ah, yes, the bloodstorm.
Yeah, but it certainly seems like the most probable answer you've gotten so far.
It's a lead. And so far, this illness seems targeted, so he could have an intelligence
Maybe.
to it.
Maybe what caused his sickness was just the test, or they're trying to go after this camp with multiple avenues. Who knows? whatever it was, it's not as
Yes,
dangerous, maybe.
it's very likely not a natural plague. That much is obvious. It targeting only refugees is not normal.
No, if this were
But
truly
still.
a more natural plague, it would have already been sweeping the land. So there has to be some.
The stew was weird tasting that night.
What do you
Still
mean
good.
weird tasting?
The local food doesn't always agree with me, and this was weird.
What
It
did
was just
what did he use if you happen to?
there was meat and beans and
Anything fish-like?
not to my knowledge.
Like,
You'd have to ask him.
Good point. Well, does anyone else have any questions?
I don't think we'll get anything. Oh god, I did Palpatine shit. I watched main Gabe watched episode 3 last night. I just immediately went to Palpatine. I don't think he'll give us.
Sebastian, we're not supposed to reveal that yet.
Have you all heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Oh goodness.
I love it. Okay, just now the mental image of Palpatine is just a senile old man, not just acting it, but actually is.
The dementia set on.
when did Sebastian
Vader
become
was
a
actually
wizard?
the only
Hold
person
up.
of competence in the Empire. Everyone's just never mind. I almost got political.
God.
Well, I believe if no one
But
else
yeah,
has
I don't think we're gonna get much more out of these guys. We have another lead, however.
we do. We have a bit
This
more
one-
understanding of what's going on.
So now we have maybe magical mist and weird fish people.
We need to apply this.
Or bad stew.
That too, but it'd be a shame it was bad stew.
I think it's more of
Far
what
less
they put
exciting.
in it.
Yeah, maybe he cooked it with the magical fish people.
I wouldn't call them fish
As during this
people,
conversation, and
creatures.
Trebek's like, wait. Did is everyone else who's on the work detail all right? Cost replacement. Yeah. Don't think anyone else has gotten sick from that trip. Now that you mentioned, I'm not sure people on the work detail are getting sick often. Maybe it's just the activity's good for them. I don't know. All right. I feel like I need to
I gotta
rest.
transfer to my car.
Okay.
All right. Can you give us some space? I thank you. I truly thank you for helping him, but I think he just needs some quiet now.
Absolutely. You get him a good fluffed pillow and you get him some hot water and you make sure that he gets
I
there.
can maybe do the latter.
Yeah. Pillow's more of a emotional kind of thing. It's not really like
So you can conjure me up one. I don't think that's an option.
It is a figure of speech.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's the word I was looking for. Figure of speech. Even a wad of fabric can help alleviate some stress.
I understand
you two
how
have a
pillows work.
Yeah, you two have a good day, you sarcastic pair of fun.
Thanks. All right, we'll say you step outside of this little impromptu shelter.
If no one else is getting sick, then maybe it was just a fluke.
Fluke doesn't sound like it's the right thing.
It
It
would have
seems
spread at least somewhat to the rest of the city. I can't imagine this place has the greatest quarantine and health regulations.
As of yet, it hasn't spread out of the city, unless it happened today while you were here without you knowing.
That'd be very unfortunate. They'll think it's our fault.
Yeah, potentially.
It'd be hard for it to be our fault when we've been in the city the whole day.
Yeah, I know. Do they? What you've learned is that this individual, Tremek, was on a work detail and had a meal with them, and then that same day had an interesting encounter by the water that all of the other individuals on the work detail had left before him, so no one else was directly exposed to this cloud. He got sick, but he didn't get the same sort of illness. This one was curable.
Maybe.
Because something stopped it.
Maybe it's something to do with this cloud that's causing the sickness, but he only got a light dose because it was airborne?
But then why weren't the other members affected?
Because they weren't there.
Or something's protecting them.
Because what? You cut out.
He intentionally kept his voice down. Could the cat that's leading these groups be? We need to talk to that person, because if none of the work details are ever getting sick, that seems a little odd. Maybe it's something feeding them, or something that he has is preventing it. I don't know, but we need to talk to this person. It's too much of an oddity to not. It's too much of a coincidence not to be like valid coincidence.
All right. So what's the plan?
We try to track down this person, I guess. Everyone else in agreement?
Well, we also got to deal with Penelope.
And the guard.
We'll deal with them after we're forced out of after our time in the town is run out. Try and get as much done in the refugee camp as we can while we're still allowed in here.
Shit, I forgot my sunglasses.
Because for all we know, Penelope ran through the sewers after evading us and disappeared into the main town. She seems to know her way through there if she can access armories.
Could have acquired plans somehow for the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
All
I don't
right.
know what Exile's universe is like about record keeping, but
It's going to vary by wherever you are. But the sewers were mostly built after a lot of the city by the dwarves once they got involved, so they would be well documented. Dwarves do like their records.
Yeah, they have their books.
Yep. Book of Grudges being the most important one. Wrong setting.
It's going in the book!
It's going in the book. Yep.
is that a Total War reference?
Yes, it is.
You gotta imagine just any minor grievance. They get attacked by a goose, that's going in the book.
I know this is off topic and out of character, but we gotta find a night to play that together. Anyways,
Yep, we should sometime. But moving on, so you're gonna head over to the mainland and try and find the Tabaxi.
Yep.
Is he
You only know
on
a
the
start.
mainland, or is he in the
So
camp?
part of the refugee camp is on the mainland, and there's a portion of the jungle that is being very closely managed. No one else is allowed in, but the refugees are using it to harvest firewood and gather whatever supplies they can, and plants, anything edible.
Then yeah, let's go there.
Yep. So you go across the bridge to the south, and it quiets down here significantly as you start reaching towards the edge of the jungle. As the noises of the city die down behind you. I'm going to just move one person's token just because it's easier to keep track with one.
That's fine.
Heading down, you see a sort of base camp. You see a actually well-built looking kind of wooden house that looks remarkably similar to the one you spent a night in back in Gulwyn, Ink on Skin's house over there. Same sort of upright logs, kind of in a slightly inward tilting structure of a big oval with drainage ditches around it and a thatched roof. But no one seems to be home at the moment. There are trails leading off into the jungle, and very distantly you can just about hear the thunk of axes on wood.
They must be out harvesting right now. We should have asked how long they normally stay in the trees.
Someone say something?
Might be a good place to talk to them outside of the city, though.
Exile, can I roll perception to see if I can judge how far away they are?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll high enough, you'll get a direction too.
Oh, please. Oh, it's not my day.
16 is pretty good. Don't worry about 16. You've spent a lot of time in the woods. You know how loud axes are. They're maybe 100 yards from you, roughly south. You get the impression if you follow the big trail, you'll probably come upon them eventually, or at least get close enough to suss them out easier.
They don't sound too far. We probably could find them very easily.
Oh, we can hear their axes.
Exactly. I shouldn't have too much of a difficult time tracking them, as long as we follow the trails in.
Make me, it's fine.
I'll lead the way, Ranger.
Now you made it like a thing to have to track them down.
Well, survival there,
And-
Ranger.
I had to take note, and I was like, well, woodlands is technically a favored terrain for me, so...
Yeah, woodlands, and that includes jungle, because I think it's a bit silly to have jungle and forest separate in a lot of contexts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is like a heavily dense North American forest is essentially a fucking jungle.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever tried to cut
Just
through?
not as humid.
To be fair, old growth pine, you could just walk clean through it because there's no plants other than trees.
Well, yeah, okay, the vegetation's slightly different, but everything else is fairly similar.
Yeah, especially in in somewhat warmer climates, a little bit more temperate, especially where it's been cut before and there's all the undergrowth. But yes, you make me that survival check just because I want to see it now.
Damn it. Can I at least get advantage because it's favored?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's mine to answer. I had the same answer, but yes. Oh,
Level
well,
14.
advantage mattered not.
Damn it!
To be fair, though, 18's plenty high. As you begin following down the trail, you soon come upon a kind of work camp. You see a small fire burning with a pot of something boiling away, and you see a group of individuals, many of which kind of stop what they're doing and look at you like, who the fuck are these armored individuals walking towards us in the jungle? Excuse me. In the jungle. You see humans, you see a large Goliath, you see a couple of other orcs, you see elves, you see just a mix of everybody out here. You also see a single tabaxi jump down from a tree and start walking towards you, going, so who are you guys?
The Fellowship of the Hammer, who are you?
We're the 18. Oh,
Right?
God.
Oh no.
I am Stas Garnet, and you don't look like refugees. You here on the work program or no?
No, we're here investigating the sickness.
For who?
Honey of hornets.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's cool. Yeah, not much sickness over here. Things have been actually going pretty well for the workers. They seem to be the only ones who are staying healthy.
That's what we were trying to see is, what are you feeding them by chance?
Oh, it depends on the day. Depends on what we can find. I like to cook, so kind of just a little of everything. Make a good stew.
What are your favorite seasonings for like stews and such like that? I'd imagine that's mostly what you're cooking.
Cumin, coriander, both work well. Turmeric when I can get it, harder to find. Ginger. Sometimes you get some more exotic things. Chicoatl, fire lily. There's a lot of choices.
A lot of standard ingredients then for this region.
Not all of them. Chicoatl is not usually used for cooking. It's fever herb, but tastes good. Has a very earthy, similar to it's a little anisey. It's nice. You're not from here. What is it called in your tongue? Is that Twilight Vine? That's it.
Ah,
It's
that is a
poisonous
familiar
if you
name.
have too much, but a little bit is good. Why? Do you want some?
No,
I have to
no,
find it.
no,
Night
not right.
howlers.
What?
It's the night howlers.
No, we were just curious as to why they're becoming sick. That's all. Just
Whether they're
eliminate all
becoming sick at the
possibility.
camp, as best I can tell.
But nothing that would be poisonous to an orc, say, right?
Nothing
We're-
intentionally.
We're also curious about what one of the individuals that got sick recently from the work group saw.
Okay,
You
which
mentioned
individual?
one of the orcs. He was on your work team not that long ago, about 8 days, I believe they said.
Casco Trenek.
Yeah. He mentioned seeing something in the water.
Usually they like to go bathe in the river. There's fish. There's occasionally an alligator. I shot one a couple weeks back. It's not too bad.
He also mentioned after seeing it, a fog rolled in.
That I have seen actually. Usually early morning. Not related to normal fog though. Comes from the middle of the big pool between the islands.
Oh shit!
Don't know what that is. See it a couple times. Sometimes it gets close to shore. Usually stay away.
Is there land access to this area?
Oh.
Oh, you guys sound like you're used to water excursions. This should be fine for you.
I didn't go there to go swimming.
When the excursions are funded, yes.
Yeah. But wait, I thought Tremek was sick. He got better?
His illness was not
Yes.
as extreme as the rest of them. I think he got a.
Same thing as Mark.
Oh, there's another incident like this.
Mark is a human man. Good friend of mine. He used to live here. Sometime he left after he got sick. I got him better, but when the refugees showed up, he was helping me here. Then he got ill and nursed him back. He was okay. Gave him Twilight Vine, gave him other things. He got better. Same weird sickness. Start big fever. Start to bleed a bit, but he okay. He's back in the city now.
Well, that's good.
It's the Twilight and other herbs.
Wait, you think
Just
Juggernaut will help people?
maybe.
It's considering that most of the people who are on your work teams either are avoiding the sickness somehow or are getting a lighter dosage of it. It's
Or have
possible that
or
what you're
something that they're
feeding them is
eating
helping.
is causing their bodies to basically not be as affected by whatever is ailing the rest of the population of the refugees.
Well, only difference would be my food then. The others will eat their dinners at camp. I feed the work party. I knew I was a good cook, but okay, can beat plague. Nice.
Or at least greatly reduce the possibility of getting sick.
Possibility
Okay.
of death.
I'd argue it's probably the ginger. It does have properties of being an immune booster.
Possibly.
It could be a
I
mix of
can,
all.
I can show you herb cabinet.
It could be a mixture of all the herbs and spices.
Yeah, I like to use
Well-
11.
What was the name of that odd one that he said? The night something.
Chico Natwil?
That
Chico
one.
Nawito. Twilight vine would be your call.
Okay.
It's funny plants. Look like normal vine until mature. Look, cannot tell. Like he kind of just grabs vine. Could be this. Won't know until bloom. Only likes to bloom during either no moon or full moon. Last batch gather on 3rd. Back about 5 days ago now. Little purple flower bloom in the middle of the night with white rings. Very pretty. You can eat, but only when it's mature, only when it's blooming. So that's when I usually gather it.
Is
No
it
moon.
mostly common in this area, or is it throughout the whole forest here?
Common in jungle, but not common to find. You'll need to be in the right place at the right time, find the right plants. Usually just look like vines, so everyone think it's really rare. Not really rare, just difficult to notice.
Gotcha.
And
I
you
have
won't
some.
admit- Can you show me it?
Well, sure. They'll be blooming tonight, so I can get more later. But I can show you the plant, or I have
They'll be
a bit
blooming
of the powder
tonight.
left.
You said no.
Tonight's new moon coming tomorrow night. First flowers will bloom tonight. Tomorrow night is when most will be blooming.
Okay.
Flexible schedule. Either moon full, either moon gone. Both work. Strange plants. Don't think it from here. Also, I have no idea where this voice is going. It's just progressing. I'm just letting it roll.
You're losing words as you go along. It's pretty great.
I'm dialing it in, or by dialing it out.
Like he's using less words and sentences, skipping over sounds. Great.
Yeah.
It's like back in the day when you'd use that Google AI chatbot and you just glitch it out and it's slowly like, what?
Old YouTube captions.
Does he show us like a flower or a vine by chance?
So he goes over to his pack, which is over by the fire, and pulls out a kind of like oilcloth bound package where you see these 3 like foot-long segments of a fairly thick-looking, like ebony black jungle vine with a white interior. Normally brown, turn black when ready to harvest. That's when you know to cut.
How much can you get from one vine?
You could take whole vine if you wanted to. Vine grow all the way to top of tree. 100 feet or more.
How much do you use in your stews?
Not a lot. This enough for next week or so.
So then you have 3 foot there. That could potentially feed the whole village for maybe a few days by give them a little bit of an immune booster.
Possibly. If this herb is used as is used for fever, is used for water sickness. Like when you eat bad water, you get help with worms. Kill worm, they go gone. No more worm.
It's so funny. You're like losing words as you continue to say things. Less and
I'm
less
just having
words.
fun with it at this point, okay? I have to enjoy the game too, you know?
It's like he's digressing. It's great.
I mean, it works.
Yeah,
Let's be
good
honest.
stuff. Good shot.
Okay.
You want? I can give you a piece.
We...
Can I roll to memorize so I get a better understanding of it? Am I being that incomprehensible?
No, it's more.
It's
No.
progressively-
I'm asking this for Like, because
How about this?
kind
Say
of-
please.
please.
What he's basically said is that there is a plant known as Chico Natwil, which is a fairly rare, but not
Not
so
rare.
not as rare as people think. It's still not a common plant, but it is found throughout the jungle. Not in specific parts of it. It seems to be more common. Others not so much. It is a plant that is seemingly unnatural, behaves a bit strangely. It only blooms on full moons or new moons, and it seems to not care which moon is new or full, which means it blooms often. Once it matures, it turns dark, like a glossy ebony color, at which point it can be harvested, it can be cut up, it can be dried, and it is used as a fever treatment, an illness treatment for parasites and other diseases, and as this individual uses it as a flavoring for food.
Which in then turn can work as a pseudo immune booster, as long for
Potentially. It seems to have conferred some level of protection to those who ate it. Those who ate it consistently, those who have been constantly on the work patrols, have not got sick at all, and at least 2 individuals who consumed it who were sick or got sick in close proximity never got severe illness and recovered.
I think I may have to spend. Well, a few of us may have to spend some time in the jungle when this new moon comes around.
yeah, I think
Tomorrow we can get tonight we can get some, tomorrow more. Sunday's best day, 2 days from now.
that.
After that, wait till kind of like pause for a second. 18th next best day.
We're gonna need to probably harvest as much as we can.
Herbalists keep stock. People use this tea, people use this treatment. It's not uncommon in some sense. The herbalists will usually have some. Might be a lot. I don't know. I usually get my own.
Probably not enough for the entire refugee camp.
Well, let's
And I
see.
don't-
If everyone needs to have at least a little bit every day, there's like 3,000 refugees.
We also don't want to run the city out of it if people are using it as flavoring in tea. Because what if the rest of the city already has a slight immunity?
Better to find what's causing plague. Plague not normal. Something weird about it. You say
And-
come
Yes.
from water?
Yes, and you
Think
said
fog caused it?
a fog is coming from the Sun Travel Lake, right?
Usually, yeah.
Has that been happening
Sometimes closer to shore, sometimes close into camp. Usually stays on the water. Usually happens in morning when people are bathing.
There's something hidden in the fog.
or something's
creature or
creating the
something.
fog?
Oh, that was a guarantee. Something's using it as cover.
Well, in that case, I will stay away. Bad fog. Don't want to be in it.
Bad fog, don't want to be in it, and also keep an eye
Don't
on
want to be near it.
your teams so that they also stay out of the fog.
Of course, I will let them know.
And hopefully, word of mouth, they also tell that to the rest of everyone else as well.
We'll try. Any other question?
No,
Okay. Need to get back to hunting for stew. Need new capybara. Come on. You see 2 individuals who were kind of standing there, awkwardly holding bows, just kind of follow him off into the jungle.
did he see capybara?
Yes, he did.
Those are rather docile animals. I don't think they'll.
Yeah, they
whatever.
do.
Call Archer on him.
No,
Whatever.
you just hear time for the path. Docile but taste good.
We tabaxi have very good hearing, so you don't have to.
Noted.
You're now questioning how many times has she heard me say things.
But what is she heard in the cabin?
Depends on what language I was speaking, but yes.
She might be able to understand a few things. You don't know.
You may also
Apparently
be able
don't
to just understand
speak
other
good
languages
enough
at
of the
will.
fucking languages I need.
Speaking of which, Roxby, could you roll me an intelligence check to see how you're progressing on learning Elvish? Because I forgot you were doing that for a while, so we got to catch up a little bit. Roxby? Oh, that's it.
Hey, not funny. He's read the book.
You at this time, after this progress, have been very diligent in your studies. You now have like a high school, like end of high school, taking 4 years of the language level understanding. You are not quite fluent, but you can very much carry a conversation. I think at this point you'll still need to work on it, but I will officially grant you the Elven language. You
So
can
that
now speak
makes
Elvish. Congratulations.
4 of us.
Very much.
Yeah. Really high level vocab, still not quite there, but you can get by. Everyone, clap for Roxby, I guess. Yeah. Good job.
Mhm. Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm very thankful for that. At least makes one more.
Fucking half the party speaks Elvish, dude.
Yeah,
There
the
you
other
go.
half speaks fucking Draconic.
This is true. Half the party speaks Draconic. Actually, I think it's more than half of the party, because it's like Sebastian can speak Draconic, Turbius, Torin,
Why am I not surprised he can speak?
Belgoris, and QS can all
Of
speak
course.
Draconic.
You guys just get wonderful lore drops.
Kiosk can also speak Phelan by definition of who she is, and also Orc.
Yep.
Yeah, I would figure the 2 Dragonborn can speak Draconic, and
I would
the
hope so.
Minotaur who came
And
from the same
Turbius,
country.
because remember, Draconic is the lingua franco of Narakesh, so Turbius, also being from there, also speaks Draconic.
That's
Clap
yeah.
it, Elven.
We are a very literate party compared to most.
Yeah.
Well, okay, look at it this way. One of you has formal high-level education. One of you is a noble scion and has absolutely had actual education through their life. Another one of you grew up in a monastery, effectively, and was given a good education. That's Belgoris. Sebastian's a whole
Wait,
don't even know. Rox
am I the
became.
noble scion or the fucking?
You're the only child of the family, so of course you're the scion.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Roxby has also had not quite the same level of education, but has had an education. Sebastian's been around so long, he's more educated than anyone here. One of you has no fucking memories at all, and the other 2 lived in the woods their whole life. So,
So
you know, overall well educated with some noticeable gaps.
Let's go to the one.
Where to now, boys and lady?
Are we tracking down Penelope, or what are we doing?
If we go after the
What time?
gnome, well, I doubt.
Wait, what time is it?
Currently, it is 11:13 a.m.
I don't know if we would have enough time to
We
go.
might want to get back. They said they'll be closing it down by noon.
Yeah,
said-
I'm adding
they said
more
one.
time because of the transit, so it's 11:23.
So
Yeah,
let's start heading back.
Okay.
We can at least talk to Honey of Hornets, and well, let's talk to the leader of the refugee camps.
Yeah, let's talk to
who was
him.
that?
Talk to Honey of Hornets, and then we gotta go talk to the guard.
Guard
Yeah.
captain, yeah.
Yeah.
Which hopefully he isn't in a foul mood after his meeting last night, but here's
Another foul mood.
He wasn't in a foul mood last night, but he wasn't in a
He wasn't in a good mood, that's for sure.
no.
I have to play politics. Would you be in a good mood?
I don't even know what it's like, so I have no idea. Probably not.
Yeah, you'd hate it. You particularly would hate it.
Which is why I took Torn with me when it came to talking with him. As well, guard captains, officer, serve of cavalry. Potato, potato.
Yeah.
Yep, we head back.
You find
Shouldn't take
Radomir in
us.
the same. You find Radomir in the same kind of office space he's set up as before. He kind of notices you enter.
They're gonna close the bridge in about half an hour. Here, best you got on the move.
Yeah, but
We, we,
I just
we
came to
just need
inform
to-
you.
You also look over on the other side of the room, and you see changed to a chair and looking very defeated the Goliath you had a fist fight with the other day, Thrain. Or not the other day, like 2 hours ago.
Is he conscious?
He's
yet?
awake, but he's bound, and he's just kind of looking down.
He also has a headache because he kind of landed when he was suffering.
We mainly wanted to talk to you about some things we discovered and we're pretty sure is part of the reason for the spread.
I'm listening to anything you have to add.
So, from what we've gathered, a weird supernatural would be a weird or bad term for it, but
It
for
could be
lack of better terms,
It could be magical.
Magic is common enough to say it's normal, but magical what exactly?
A
Yes,
fog in that middle lake
Right.
that happens not at dawn or dusk.
it does happen at dawn and dusk, but
Apparently, it's been
So-
happening quite frequently when people are bathing.
People have mentioned it gets foggy in the mornings. Is that what you're talking about?
over there in the
A
little
weirder
lagoon,
fog.
in the little lake area between the mainland and the three islands.
Yeah.
People
That
should
bit-
avoid the water while that fog
that
is hanging
area.
there.
At least in that area for sure.
Why exactly? What do you think is going on?
Mm,
We're not 100%
Spooky,
convinced.
scary skeletons.
oh,
But
Shivers down your spine.
we believe that something is coming out of the water, or at least using that fog to hide itself, to maybe infect the people.
and also using some local herbs in
What
your food, like
Who's blowing their nose
you-
into the microphone?
You may want to start. You may want to get with the tabaxi that runs the work parties and collect a lot of twilight root
Twilight
on
root?
or twilight vine. Sorry, on this next new moon. Collect as much as you can. It appear, based on what we're seeing, it may not be 100% accurate, but a lot of the work party is not getting as sick or sick at all, and
Or
that
if
has
they
been
are-
something that
it's not as severe as everyone
Deadly.
else.
I will certainly. I will have to have a conversation with Stars then. Such an
it's
odd-
something that he's been feeding them as a seasoning.
Are you
It
telling me
may be helping.
I will take your word for it? And hey, if it
It's
works, great. If not, maybe the food will taste better. Who knows?
the vine is used as a natural remedy apparently in the town for various illnesses. So maybe it is helping in some ways.
And also worms.
Yeah. Parasites would be the better phrase for it.
Stomach
But
worms have become a bit of a problem. That's good news. It's never a good day when the latrines start wiggling.
but
Okay.
Oh, you eat some.
I'm sorry, I just had to say it. It was in my head.
Ugh. But yeah,
I don't want to know what kind of homebrewed shitworm monster you've come up with, Exile. All right.
It would
Yeah.
just be like a real worm. I took a whole course on
Yeah.
parasitology in college. I know a lot of worms.
Ew. Yeah.
It's not that
Honestly,
bad.
though, it's actually one of the coolest courses I've ever taken.
To my theory of being obsessed with worms.
Well, do you want to know the good news?
Oh dear lord.
Our food system is very, very resistant to them getting in. The only thing you got to be careful of in our society, in our thing, is if you ever find raw water chestnuts, get the canned ones. Those have been
Yeah.
sterilized. The raw ones can give you it's not actually a worm, it's a you've heard of like those multi-stage parasites that have to go through several animals.
Mm.
The one that comes from water chestnuts is one of those, and it will burrow into your skin and cause a terrible rash. It will die there because you're not fish, but so just if you're
Good
getting water
lord.
chestnuts, don't buy them raw. Just buy the canned stuff. That's the only thing you should worry about in America, really. That or going barefoot in the Southwest.
Good thing I'm in America.
No, we only have brown recluses and rattlesnakes.
Yeah, that for several reasons. It's more. I'm
And
actually in
black widow.
southeast, and that's for hookworm.
Yeah.
Because they'll burrow up through your feet, and then they're a problem.
Yay.
Anyway, now that I'm done traumatizing you guys for the day, shall we move on?
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get across the bridge before they raise it.
Yeah, you make it across the bridge without issue. You're stopped at the gate, and they kind of give you a once over, making sure you're not covered in blood or visibly ill, before directing you to the hospital immediately to go and speak with them first to get an actual clean bill of health. Stepping inside, the smell of rotting bodies is only getting worse by the day outside as more bodies have been piled onto the big growing, starting to melt at the bottom pile. And no one's happy about it.
Nope.
No, but to
Not
get
being allowed
information
to.
here, you would need to get the temple of which temple was that? The temple of Miklantekutli or something very similar to that. I'm trying my best here.
Gesundheit.
You would have to talk to the temple there and get them to
Get the
allow
bodies.
changes to be made. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
get them to accept cremations and proclaim it as allowed because it is against the culture here,
Yeah.
but it is needed for the plague.
Another time.
I swear, if these bodies don't get someone infected with something worse than what people are already dealing with, I'd be surprised. QS says and thinks.
No one hears it.
But yep,
Mhm.
let's go talk to Honey of Hornets. Which I doubt she's hard to find.
No, as you step into the hospital, you see her standing over one patient. Patient is there apparently trying to force something down the throat, and the patient is having a very bad time of it and kind of flailing and thrashing about. It's like, stay over there. We're trying our best here. Give us some time.
Okay.
Okay, fuck it. Just hit him. Perfect. Give him medicine. Sorry, we don't usually like that method, but sometimes it's needed. You hit him just right, no long-term damage.
I mean, that's a new way to do anesthesia, but alright.
What's anesthesia?
Oh no.
Yeah, no, this world is okay. Medically, they're more advanced than they were historically. They have the fundamental understanding of germ theory, as in dirty things, bad things. That's about all they got.
I would have thought they would have had like,
They have painkillers. They don't
Oh,
have
hey.
anesthesia.
oh hey, you use like a sleep spell or something on someone.
Yeah, which will work until they take any damage.
And also, they're probably running on fumes in terms of magic.
Hey, feeding someone medicine is not considered taking damage.
Depends on how you get it down.
Depends how you define damage.
Oh, this was a suppository.
Oh God.
Believe me, it wouldn't have worked.
Noted.
No, we've tried before. Just
Going to have to scrub that from my brain now. Oh God.
Yeah, it's not that bad. You'll get used
it's
to
really
it.
not. It's really not. They'll be fine.
Uh,
Well, no, they won't be fine. They'll die unless we. They're going to die anyway. Anyway, did you find any?
Honey,
hornets? What medicines have you been trying to use on them?
Mostly, it's just trying to treat the symptoms using whatever we have available. The locals have been hesitant to give us any of their local stores, so again, we're running very low. What we have on the ship, which we still need, will assist us, but we really need an actual treatment at this stage.
Well, Stars has been feeding the work crews some local herbs. Herbs are known for, well, getting rid of some nasty things.
parasites and other illnesses, and it seems to be working.
It's working? What
Then-
is it? You have
then-
some.
Twilight Fine.
Twilight Fine. What's the local name?
I can't say that. I don't fucking. You also didn't write it down, which I wish you had.
Here, I will. In fact, I will put it in the chat in game, and I will also put the pronunciation guide I have. Chiconatwi.
Ravioli.
Not fit.
Chicken Motley. Yeah.
Ravioli.
Darkly.
Chicken
Chiconatwi.
Motley.
Yeah.
Why did you have to go Aztec on us?
It's fucking aesthetic as hell, okay?
Motherfucker.
Is this not like an interesting cultural setting?
Oh, it is. It is.
My point is proven.
Damn it. Damn it. Is it hard to
Man, you
speak?
fucks. That'd be my response. Do you not speak common?
I speak.
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
I don't speak feeling fluently.
I have heard of this herb before. Not an herb, it's a... Oh, the name
Vine.
says vine. It's a divine. I've heard of it before. I've never used it for anything. No, that's a lie. My mother would make tea with it back when I was a girl. You're saying it seems to be helping?
That
What
and
evidence do you find of this?
Potentially. We're not
but not
100%
100% sure.
sure.
But also
But-
keeping people out of the little lagoon area that the three islands make with the mainland over there. Goes kind of points towards the southwest.
They don't have to stay out of it at all times,
Or
but
southeast.
if they see fog in the lagoon, they need to stay away.
Fog rolls off the lake into the city all the time. What's wrong with this fog?
It's not
The-
natural
the one-
based on what we've been told. It's not the natural fog.
The area of water that the three islands kind of form around, it leads into the main lake, primarily. That little area there. They kind of keep away from that area.
I know it will be rough for them to change their schedules, but as far as bathing and all that is concerned, but if people are getting sick constantly, we think there's something alive in the water which might be causing this, but we're not sure. There was a description of a creature, something small.
Something small? Some creature?
Not that big.
You've come back with some interesting stories, that's for sure.
Not that big. were kind of hunched. Shape had webbed feet, webbed hands, kind of a long snout. Kind of hairy on its head. And
It's no creature I'm familiar with.
nor am I.
And apparently it had at least the child that picked it up said that it might have had something in its hand. That based on what they described, either
No bigger than a toothpick, really. That's what they had in their
yes,
hand.
an orb, but it had an orb on the end of it. So it's potential that it's either a staff or a poison delivery system of some type.
But again, this is also off of
A
memories
lot
I
of
was able
theory.
to glean, so...
Quirky over here went essentially dream walking in someone's mind.
I'd like to call it more mind delving, but sure, we can go with that.
I don't know magic very well.
To
Dream
me, the
walking,
mind...
mind delving, it sounds about the same.
The mind's more like a cavern that is half empty, half full at the same time.
Have you
Yeah,
spoken
no,
to Vladimir about this? He'd be in a
Yes.
better position to tell the refugees. What to
We
do.
have before we came across the bridge, before they rose it.
Okay then.
And also get with stars to get a bunch of the vine, as much as they can find.
He won't be able to get any in a short time.
No.
I would like
Well,
to,
they
I would
can-
like to try it at scale with the patients here. You said you have some?
We can get some from an apothecary, one of the apothecaries. We can buy it out of our own coin. And if they don't know that we're working with you, they might be able to sell us a bunch.
Please do that. Also, he did give you some.
Ah, he did? Okay. So,
Yeah.
who would have that? Roxby or Garrosh?
It would have been me.
Just pass it over to somebody.
I hand what he gave us over to Honey of Hornets.
She takes
This
it,
is
kind of turns
this
over
is
her
all
hand,
we have.
and she smells it and she goes, "That's an old memory. If it's as potent as they used to say, I shouldn't need much."
It is poisonous
What's
if it's
Patient.
used too much.
Potent, not poisonous.
He did
Oh,
say
wait,
it was
yeah,
poisonous. But
Everything is
in large quantity, but I doubt a vine of this size that we were given is enough quantity to poison someone.
you might be surprised.
This much would kill 10 men.
The Garage looks a little shocked. Really?
If you ate the whole thing, it's like a quarter pound of it here. It's pretty dense. You notice. I've heard that this, not an expert in it, will administer it in increasing doses to the early stage patients we have. The later ones, it's not going to help, but we'll test some of them too. We're going to use all of this today. Hopefully, if you're right, it might reduce the infection. Were you able to?
Mainly we got concluding this information from a human that was here before the refugees came, and a orc that was with the camps that got sick, but his sickness was not as severe as the rest of the patients.
Where's that orc now?
He's
in
in
the
Eastern
camp.
refugee camp.
Is he still ill?
No,
He was part. No, he's recovered.
he's better, but kind of like he's groggy.
I wouldn't trust that it will last forever.
Yeah,
The way he explained it,
our cleric here used lesser. What was it? Lesser restoration.
Yes. Right. Yeah. It's less reputation.
No,
That
it's-
magic will stop. That is good magic. It'll stop pretty much any normal disease. The
Yes.
interference that whatever magic is causing this plague is creating has been blocking such attempts. But
Maybe the mixture of the vine and the magic was what you
But
need.
also, Stars has been also using like a mixture of like 11 spices and stuff that he's been able to scrounge in the
11
forest.
herbs and spices.
11 herbs and spices.
Oh dear lord.
In his meals for the working crews, so.
There could be more, but the Twilight Root might be the main culprit. At least that's what we're hoping.
We'll test that clearly first. If not, we'll go back and see. From the sound of it, it does see something he's doing is having an effect, since any news is good. I'm going to go prepare this for tea and come back this evening. Maybe we'll have some news. Your protection will last for the rest of the day, so until tomorrow morning. So you should
Understood.
have nothing to worry about. Get yourselves clean if you got any fluids on you from any of the ill inside, though.
We can head to the baths.
Was sick, was he?
You probably should head to the
Let's
baths.
say-
What was your name? Torin, you should get that blood off of you.
I go outside and rinse myself off.
That is from a different situation.
Better
But-
safe than
It
sorry.
was still a lot of blood.
But yeah, let's head to the bathhouse because we need to go speak with the captain of the guard, anyways.
All right. Well, you brought us the first piece of hope we've had in a long time. So thank you.
Hope.
Wait, QS, where did you go? I saw your character flying, and oh, there you are. somehow
Over to the
you
bathhouse.
blend in with the trees.
You can't. They climb trees. They disappear in trees. Yes.
All right, so you're going to the bathhouse.
Yeah, we might
Yeah,
as well
just
go
to
to the
get
bathhouse
cleaned up.
first, cleaned up, make sure we don't have anything on us.
And then head to the captain of the guard. That way, when we go talk to him, we
We do-
don't.
We also
Look.
make sure to avoid large crowds and stuff. So
And you still have all the weapons that you recovered and the armor, which you've thrown into the bag, so you have that.
You know,
yeah, we'll have to
We
get
can
from him.
hand those over to the captain of the guard.
Yeah, you'll hand those over. All right, so
Or at
Yeah.
least
you head over to
subscribe.
the bathhouse. It's the same. Pull it up. Give me a second. Ayahukali, which means mist house, is the same rather high-end and nice bathhouse you went to before. Or this time you're greeted at the door by a half elven woman with very soft features, very rounded, less angular than you normally see on an elf. Maybe some human in half taking over there. Who quickly greets you and asks what sort of services you're looking for the day. I'm gonna abbreviate. We're just gonna do a shared room for discussion in Steam again.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so it's 1 gold for the hour, which is probably enough time for you guys at this stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
QS pays for it this time. So
Okay, mark that off.
that's 1 gold you said, or 10 gold?
1 gold. It's only for the shared room. It's only 1 gold an hour, which, as a reminder, for you guys, adventurers, is a paltry sum. For the average person, that's
A
like a
lot.
very nice dinner. That's like, you know, a fairly affordable outfit, or like a mid-range outfit in a lot of cases. Like it's a decent amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mid-range outfit, yeah.
That's kind of sad. That's like almost throwaway money.
The average, so the average person makes between 1 and 5 silver a day for the average like poor commoner, commoner. Merchants might make a few gold a day to dozens of gold a day. Nobles have large stores of money.
Yeah, because they pull in taxes.
Yep. Or there's also the noble aristocracy, in addition to the land-holding nobles, and those make money mostly through merchant industry. Remember, capitalism is alive and well.
I'm just getting coffee on the way home, so you're gonna hear me ordering. That's about it.
All right.
Okay.
No worries.
I don't see the fucking mute button.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna make some tea while we're chatting here. You know what? Let's call a 5-minute bio. Let's just
Yep.
7 minutes. We'll meet back on the hour. How's everyone on time? I know it's early to
Pretty
ask
good.
that question, but it was a good idea too.
I'm fine.
Almost 9 o'clock. I'm going to put the dogs out while we are on the short file. Come on, Bubs. Yeah, I know. The main goal with any upcoming conversation that we're going to have is trying to convince the captain that we might know who's involved. We at least know a name and an individual. That's like this way.
Oh, someone disconnected.
Yep.
Oh, it was Ark. I see.
Okay,
I love that I posted that clip from the other day.
Oh, the one he put in.
Yeah, where did he?
I think he threw him in funny stuff.
Yeah, did like I let. What can you tell him?
Trigon jump scare.
Yeah.
Accurate Space Marine experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it works there. I started to say that's what we were going to tell you about before he spoke, so it ended up in the call as like an immediate reply.
Hi, can I get a Supreme stack and a large Oreo mocha ice cap, please? Yeah. And the Supreme
forward
stack
to the next
snackable,
window.
whatever it is. No, Supreme stack, the food.
Supreme stack?
Yeah.
I want a chocolate shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a side of fries
No, that's everything.
Yeah.
and a large poutine. Meanwhile, Tristan has a selection of Doritos and Tostitos. Yeah. Okay, I just let some of the music chill, and Mother Earth has come on, and I'm just gonna turn it up. It goes hard.
Well, yeah.
So, Hockey, what's a Supreme stack?
I don't know. It looks like a pulled pork burger with like bacon and barbecue sauce.
Oh, fuck yes. I thought you were
Oh
going
no,
to
it's a new thing. Yeah, well, I saw that and I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with you. I'd have done the same, I think.
Tim Hortons, man, you can get a lot of shit here.
Yeah, your Tim Hortons have a lot more than ours. Ours are pretty much just donut places.
Sucks to suck.
There also aren't any in Illinois, to my knowledge. There might be like one or two. Mostly headed in Ohio because it was the only donut place around. Around here, we're Dunkin' Donuts territory.
What are you? I mean, ice
Yeah.
I can't remember what's in North Dakota.
You probably have a Tim Hortons. You're close to the border. So the Supreme Stack was introduced only 4 days ago, my dude.
Yep. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah. It's a hot their specific thing from the vice president of Tim Hortons of the category of in it. So hang on. The Supreme Stack is a hot sandwich that's packed with seasoned steak and bacon and designed to satisfy Canadians' cravings. They're going to fall in love with it at the first bite, says Carolina Bertie, Vice President of Category and Innovation for Tim Hortons. Sandwich is made to order and piled high with a layer after layer of tasty, high-quality ingredients. We will finish it off in our oven so it's hot, aka it comes in a bag and we heat it up before serving.
You know, I'm sitting here
supposedly-
trying to like. I've been whinging about killing the Xantarum, and then I just realized the traders are randomized. It doesn't matter what he has. He probably doesn't have that item. Fuck. Dude, it was like 30 minutes.
Supposedly Krispy Kreme is coming to North Dakota. Supposedly.
Really? You don't have a Krispy Kreme?
Nope.
Do you have a Dunkin'?
Doesn't say any.
Do you have a, what was that smaller chain?
Fucking Deadlands up there, man. That reminds me, though, I should probably go. I want to get some Krispy Kreme tomorrow. Bring some to work.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Most of the shit over here is basically local shit.
Yeah. There's another one called Sweet
Small
something.
town,
I don't remember
yes.
what it's called. Honeydew. You might have one of those. Or actually, though, those are really a New England thing.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly, the one that's primarily in North Dakota is Bearcat Bakehouse. Or Bearcat Bakehouse, I should say.
Oh, shit. Oh, finally got the doubts.
Yeah, so Tim Hortons in the U.S. is only in Delaware, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, and West Virginia. Of those, the vast majority of locations are in New York and Michigan.
Made it to Texas, motherfuckers.
So Texas has 5 locations. Michigan has 204. New York has 279 out of a total of 656. And they're all right on the border. Like, all of the ones in New York, except for some in Long Island and NYC, are literally right along the fucking border in, like, Erie and shit. The ones in Maine, with the exception of one in Bangor, are all in, like, far northeast Maine. They're all in, like, Holton and even further afield. What the fuck? There's one in Nashville.
We're invading.
Yeah.
There was a Tim Hortons in Grand Forks, but it is permanently closed.
Mm. Yeah, I like Tim Hortons. I know that it's better in
better in Canada because we have Asians cooking all the food.
Tim Hortons U.S. menu. I'm gonna look at this real quick. Yeah, so in the U.S., they only have breakfast items and donuts and coffee and such. That is all. They do not have the new Stack Supreme or Supreme Stack. Which, how is it, by the way?
He's no longer in here, Chief.
Oh, he's getting into his house then. How's the other Canadian doing? How are you doing, Goku? Haven't heard you in a while.
I'm here.
Oh, cool. How are you?
I'm all right.
Gotcha.
He lives.
What's your Tim Hortons order? I don't fucking know what to say. I'm just kind of making conversation while we wait for him to get back.
I don't like Tim Hortons that much.
That's fair. What's your go-to fast food place?
New York fries.
New York fries. Never heard of it.
The poutine place. But they don't make regular poutine. It's usually stuff like bacon loaded or...
I gotcha.
I guess a bacon loaded one.
If I talk about all right. For me, it'd be Steak and Shake, which is very much literally from Illinois, and so I might be biased, but it's the best fast food burger, in my opinion, there is. Because unlike literally every other fast food place, they actually season the fucking meat. How hard is it to put salt in their meat? Apparently impossible for literally everyone else.
There.
This might be one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's really fucking good.
If they failed, why? My God, can I just force choke you, you fucking bitch? Died in a force choke, perfect.
Where are you force choking people, KJ?
Why are you not?
I'm running a D&D game.
Well, see, that's the first problem.
I'd be down to run a Star Wars
Took
game.
forever.
Star Wars has a very comprehensive RPG system. We could absolutely play a Star Wars game. The problem, I think, is I get so obscure into the deep lore that only Ghost would know what the fuck is going on. Also, let's finish the question out. What is all right, Tristan? What's your go-to fast food place?
Wendy's.
God damn it.
Fair enough.
Jingle.
KJ, what's your go-to fast food place?
I have so many local places I can't. Fuck.
It doesn't have to be
Honestly,
like the one you always go
it's been Wawa down there.
Fair enough. I've been to
There's a
Wawa
Wawa near me.
before.
One place I can get taken damn good. You can say which way.
Ghost, I'd imagine it's I can't remember which would be in your state of either checkers or rallies, but that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Man, I wish checkers and rallies was closer. I got one like too far
Wait,
for
are
me.
you talking South Carolina or
in
South
general,
Dakota?
it doesn't have to be something you can get now. Just something you would get.
For what now? Sorry, I've been
Favorite fast food place. This is a go-to.
fast food place that's a go-to.
Either in South Carolina or where you're at.
My fast food that if I could go to it all the time, I would be Groucho's from South Carolina.
Gotcha.
It's
What about you?
it's someplace. Very good,
Nice.
very good.
Hello.
You know, there's still like 11 Quiznos left in the world.
Wait. Is that a barbarian that I just heard join?
Yes, it is.
It's a Minotaur.
You call an electrician?
It's me just leaving work.
Did you call an electrician?
I mean, my manager did, and DTE.
Did they turn off the lights? Because leaving those on is a danger.
No, it's still on.
That's fucking stupid. Okay, so those lights are either arcing, or otherwise you have a wiring issue, or some weird shit going upstream with your electrical. You do not want them drawing power. If nothing else, you'll burn out those lights 10 times faster than normal.
We had a massive explosion at close, and we couldn't tell if that was like a transformer or something inside or outside the building.
Nice.
And we've had like 3 or 4 of them since.
Turn the lights off.
Huh?
Okay. If I was a store manager, I'd have cut building power after the first explosion.
Well, the problem is our electrical room's making a very loud electrical noises, and she didn't want to go in there.
That's fair.
That's fair. I would have called the fire department first.
And I don't know if we
I
have
would
like
have
an
called
outside.
the power company at that.
Yeah, we
point.
did.
You know,
They're out in our parking lot right.
It's going to take 2 hours to show up and cut off the power. The fire
They're
department.
out in our parking lot right now without even calling us or like asking for any information. And there's like 6 or 7 trucks out
That's
in the parking lot, not doing anything.
Some wacky shit going on in their grid monitoring. They're like, we got to see what the fuck is happening there.
Well,
I mean,
Shinsei,
it's all PTE, so.
That's Shinsei?
Shinsei had a transformer blow just down from him, so yeah, transformers are blowing. Seems like this year.
The Teslas are rebelling.
The Teslas are rebelling.
I had a large one explode a week or so ago.
Hang on, is this like a
Very
pattern?
large one. Shook that. Well, it happens on. I am my road is specifically the newest one. So
I keep wondering if it's like our air conditioner on our roof that fucking blew something and it keeps trying to blow
pretty
something
common,
else.
actually. Yeah. ACs draw so much power.
Yeah. But between those lights flickering, a bunch of our demos not working, or like
just haunted.
keeps trying to reset because of the power flicker, like, yeah. I'm actually surprised the building is not burned down yet.
Your store's haunted. Don't worry.
Just like the moon's haunted.
No, the moon is cheese. Get with.
It's okay though. I got 3 hours of overtime this week.
Oh god. Not worth it.
The only reason I'm leaving is because they got a store manager from a different store to come over so I could leave. Because they don't want to pay overtime. And they need 2 people in the store at all times.
Why not just close the fucking door?
All right, are we ready to get the show back on the road? Or are we just going to talk about food for another hour?
Let me know if I need to mute because I'm in my car.
You're fine. She was just up here. She jumped down willingly. It was not my fault.
Maybe they're scared.
Oh well. Would you two stop that?
Well, evidently, Exile has cramps. So he'll be back when he can be. Raj, just wherever you're cramping, just try and massage it a little bit. Try and work it out. Not in the sexual context, please.
Go put a towel on the get a soaking wet towel, put it in the microwave for 15 seconds. It's a warm compress.
Okay.
Put the Doritos bag in the microwave.
That's why you put it in like a bowl of water, just heat up the whole thing. It's really nice, actually.
Puts the lotion on the skin.
Nico, I'm supposed to hit you over the head with a hammer, supposedly.
Why?
Because Exile said no. Bad Nico.
So that's how you get a mini Doritos bag, right?
Mini Doritos.
Listen here, you cannot shrink Doritos.
No, you have to expand the Dorito.
No, I mean shrink the Doritos bag.
Mini Doritos.
That is not how that works.
I saw somebody do it on the internet. The internet doesn't lie to me, right?
Right.
Exile said that's how you break the electrical system of your store, or it's now clear that it's your fault. Exile said.
It was not my fault. Can confirm.
Exile said, press X for doubt.
That's great.
I love LA Noir.
He's probably laughing his ass off, but also fucking in pain.
Laughter's the best medicine.
Yeah, but he's having stomach cramps.
Mm.
Oh. I don't know how to help with that.
What did he eat?
Yeah.
Either food or no food.
Why'd you take off fall damage? Fuck. Weird game.
So you're saying that you didn't eat food there, Exile? Or did you eat food?
Avoid Mexican joints.
Mexican joints is normally you taking the seatbelt that comes uninstalled on your toilet, and you install it quickly and fucking strap yourself in.
Now this sounds like an episode of Cleveland Brown Show.
Yeah. People that watch this are going to be like, what the fuck are these idiots talking about?
This very bizarre conversational method.
Yes.
Sorry, I finished eating ice cream and then suddenly my body said, we're done here.
Are you
Anyway,
lactose intolerant?
far from it. And it wouldn't have been instant.
you're-
No, in retrospect, I don't think I've crapped in 2 days.
Oh, so you might be constipated.
Not anymore, I'll tell you that, not anymore.
Constipation is real, fellas.
So was it a strap yourself into the toilet and hold on for dear life?
It actually happened pretty quickly. I'm okay now.
I'd hope so.
And I got my tea,
No.
so I'm happy. Anyway, you are all gathered up in the bathhouse. Just
Making
this
sure.
is like the 5th or 6th time the party's just all been nude together in the same room.
Yeah, it's nothing too bad.
Nah, it's fine.
I mean, Kyrus has a lot of hair, so on top of having.
Depends, how high out of the water are you sitting?
Depends on how deep the bath is.
In the very middle, close to 4.5 feet. It's like seating around the side. You're just all having a conversation and just tits out. Got it.
Yeah. Are you that surprised
No, not in the slightest.
that
Not
With this
in
group.
the fucking slightest. No. Well, honestly, this group is so much less perverse than a lot of people I know.
Could be worse.
Oh, it could be a lot worse, believe me.
You could be chained to the wall.
I'm not talking about what happened to the I'm not talking about what happened to the captured goblin in another game. It was a guy. Goblin was a guy.
that doesn't make it any better.
I don't know. The goblin seemed into it.
I was say did that goblin have a good time at least?
That's even worse.
It totally threw him off the building. Yes.
We could be like that.
His Montreal memories were pretty
He got
good.
with a smile on his face.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Could be worse. We could be walking in on an ogre and a bugbear.
Now, this is what happens when you let one of your players use a custom class as a succubus. Just take that as a word for warning.
Oh dear lord.
Oh, I guess a crane caught on fire on the ring road in my city.
All right, now I got to see what the fuck's happened in Chicago. We got transformers blowing up, cranes on fire.
There was a no-knock raid
police
500
officer was
meters from
killed.
my home.
Oh, that must have been so fun.
Oh, a dolphin was
FBI
born at the
Cup.
aquarium today.
Yeah, at least there's something good.
Yeah. Now back to what the fuck were we doing?
Discussing stuff and also getting ourselves
Yeah,
cleaned up.
what's your play as you get cleaned up?
Well, we need to get. Well, we need to get the weapons and armor and stuff back to the captain, and hopefully, we can also get some way to make sure that we can go over to the warehouse that was raided and do some investigation over there.
Yeah, we also need to see if he knows anything about this gnome. Maybe it's someone that works for the police force, because they did say that they weren't a refugee.
I doubt they work for the city.
No, maybe they're known by the city at least. I don't.
Could
I would
be-
think some of the thieves
I
guild
mean,
members.
we have a name. We could just see if that means anything to the god captain.
It also could be a
That's what
fake
I
name
was-
too.
This is true also.
Penelope as a name is not common in this part of the world at all.
Yeah, I was about to say that definitely doesn't sound like it belongs in this fucking place.
Not in
No.
this city at all, no.
But it also
No.
could
is-
still
it is
be a
the kind
fake
of
name.
You might hear that name in Aleros. It's possible some parts of Inkaria, but it's not. It's definitely not Deloshan, Narakeshi, or from the islands. You can say that with confidence. That gnomes tend to have a lot of names.
Gnome-gish.
Wasn't it in some places they up to like 3 or 4 surnames or something?
More than that. Gnomes love names. Some gnomes will literally have 20, 30 names.
Some gnomes have names for names.
This is true. They have names for names in their language. As in different words to describe different types of name, much like we do.
I once thought I was having a conversation with a gnome, but it was actually just him reciting his name.
Interesting, Turbius. But in any event, finishing up at the bathhouse does not take you too long. We'll say you don't even use your full hour. But all in all, it's just past 1 o'clock, about 1:14. You head on over to...
Our clothes were cleaned while we were in there, right? The armors and all that. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yep, you're all spick and span.
We don't need
The
any
only
gloves.
person that had blood on him is Nemonis, and
Everyone else was just here because it's a good bath.
that also allowed us to be somewhat privacy.
That there's like bending stones.
We were only in
Better.
the bath for like less than an hour. That wouldn't even be a short rest.
Yeah. We can say this was an hour for a short rest. That's acceptable. All in all, if you need to take a short rest.
Exile, my wife is asking to have her character do a short rest for it.
I don't think she's missing anything that she gained with a short rest.
That's what I was thinking. She hasn't really used it.
Yeah, no, you have
That lasts long.
full health, full spell slots. You've done nothing. You're fine.
Hey. I'm lazy.
Though, as you begin to leave the place, Garish, one of the sending stone you're holding begins to vibrate.
Yeah. I pull it out.
Oh, hey, Gash, Zero. Left go down a few days ago. We're making great time. Wins with us. We will be there tomorrow afternoon. How are things in the city?
Okay, I need to go back to where I sent the last message. Shit, because I swear I told him there was a plague.
Yeah, you did. He knows that. This is him.
Oh, he's just asking for an update. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Zil and him now. So.
Yeah, Zil would have told him.
Yeah.
You can reply.
Yeah, I'm typing it up. That way it's easier for me to... Because I know it's a 25-word limit, correct?
Mm-hmm. We don't have to be too anal about it, though.
Had a baby, it's the boy.
You can continue to use it after this, just 25 in a row, so you don't have to be too worried about getting it specifically precise.
It's 28 words.
Good enough.
Yeah. Tell him working with the refugees and the guard to try and figure out what's causing the plague. Might have some leads. Also, he may have trouble getting into port since the ports are locked down.
Yeah. Yeah, we heard that the port was locked down. Going to be docking up at Raoul, going up in the skiff. Well, be a little late. We're actually close to this. We're actually, you can see land now. Hence, it's going to be an afternoon going upriver.
See you when you get here.
Looking forward to it. Try not to die.
That's the plan.
Okay.
What, you mean I'm supposed to be trying to die?
No.
The plan is not to die.
Look here, big man. You are part of the muscle. Stay alive.
Staying alive.
Thought the
Staying alive.
same thing.
In any event, moving on from that, you soon... Hang on, let me get front of fucking name of the guard. Soon you return to the police station, are quickly brought back by the same individual you saw last time. I'm to the same office room where you see Breaking Storm, the heavily scarred Leonin, and with the kind of albino tiger pattern, who's not sitting at his desk, but actually standing in the corner of the room looking at some papers. Like,
I was worried you wouldn't be making it today. Come in. All of you this time.
Yes, sir. I kind of went more British there, so on accident. Sorry.
of course, sir.
Right away, sir.
Register.
I've been doing some more digging into the problematic guards. I have some leads, but first we need to talk about the armory. Some of my men posted down by the port said there was a bit of an incident, and that they noticed you bringing a bunch of weaponry out of the tunnels. What exactly happened?
We were actually planning to return that to you. We
takes
may
off.
have Yeah.
I might ask you to drop them with the quartermaster, not in my office, but seems you've... Show me what you've recovered, at least.
Okay. Kuz just kind of opens up the flap and brings out the bundles, which have been tied together.
Bring a few select items out.
The 8 swords, 2 battle axes, 5 maklatas, a single bow with no arrows. Peculiar. That isn't one of our bows, actually.
We
You can keep that one, I don't care.
Based on what the refugees that we got these from were saying, a gnome named Penelope was helping them. They're the ones that found a pathway through the sewers.
The sewer tunnels have been largely out of use for the better part of a decade.
Apparently one of them goes...
Mass infestation.
Apparently some of them go into the armory.
Or at least converge.
This is what we get for using converted buildings. I can't help but notice none of the actual uniforms or insignia are here.
No.
Sadly, yes, they weren't in the room.
Well, room / maybe workstation for repair work of the tunnels. I don't.
Very well. As of now, these weapons and armor were found on the street, some alley somewhere, don't care. Make a name. On their own without the uniforms. If the word gets out that this is in the refugee camp and the council hears about it, there will be hell to pay.
Yes.
We'll be on the verge of throwing these people out. We cannot let them know. Maybe you can learn something more by going to the actual armory.
We were actually hoping to discuss that with you.
I was hoping to send you there.
Perfect.
Is there anything else you need to mention beforehand? Any word of the place?
Something is in the little lagoon area that the 3 islands form between the mainland and those 3 islands. Something there.
Something?
Yes, something about 2 foot tall, roughly, hunched, blood feet, blood hands.
I will say that the description you got from the woman of the thing was maybe 6 inches tall.
6
Not 2
inches.
feet.
It's a small creature. We're not sure if it's full sentience, semi-sentience, but
Or something polymorphing itself. We honestly don't
yeah,
know.
we're not fully sure. But something in that lagoon might be poisoning the people, rather than this being
Regular
some kind
plague.
of random infection.
And also the refugees that are working in the work camps, those with stars, they are not getting sick. And the one that
Or-
has was not as severe as the others.
You know,
Well, you found some hope of a treatment then.
Potential is hard
it's
to
not.
tell.
If
What do
not,
you need?
I wouldn't say treatment. More of potential like immunity booster, but it comes from Twilight vibe.
Or
At least that's what we think.
Chihokorit.
According to Stars, he uses a lot of local herbs for his stews. But
Twilight vine.
Hmm.
It's not an uncommon plant, but it makes sense that no one in the camp would have been provided with it. It's not considered essential. You're saying it seems to inhibit the infection?
The one
Either
orc,
inhibit or make them piss it and shit it out. We honestly don't know.
the one orc that did get sick recently, he had been sick for 8 days, and
Yeah, didn't exactly
he,
get as
he was
worse,
only
any worse
he
than
wasn't
the
even
first stage.
the first stage. Even for being in the first stage, it wasn't as bad as a lot of the other cases we've been told of.
I truly hope you're onto something.
We hope so too.
Fantastic news. It's common
Yeah.
enough, and it could be harvested in greater quantities. I assume you took it to Miss Hornet.
Yes, we took it to Honey of Hornets.
Good. You'll actually be able to learn something. If it does turn out Twilight Vine is a suitable...
And we also discussed that we might go to a few apothecaries and buy up as much as we can carry and give it to her.
You'll certainly be able to buy that much. It's common enough.
And as long as they don't know that we're working with her, we should be able to get it without too much fuss.
Private market won't care what you're buying or for who. The city is preventing city resources being used. No one cares about private funds. They get plenty of donations at the hospital, after all. It's just they still want their supplies from the dock. But if we found an alternative, all the better. Let's talk about the armory break-in. Let's get you sent over there. I'll see what I can inquire about availability. If we can get some evidence that this is indeed a valid treatment, and we can convince the council to actually get off their pompous asses and help.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Progress might well be made.
How was your meeting last night?
Oddly enough, you came up. Apparently you had an encounter with 2 of the council members at the theater?
Huh? What?
What's at the theater?
You guys did.
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember it.
You spoke with Spirit of Flame and They mentioned you. I brought up that you were helping City Guard. Now, Ferrum of the High Cap would like to speak with you at some point. I've been told to arrange that as well.
Hmm.
He's more amenable to the refugees' plight than others, but he's a businessman first and foremost. You should keep that in mind when dealing with him. Not a bad man, but one with a self-serving personality.
So in his case, the gold speaks.
The gold does indeed speak. Downright sings in his mind. If you could convince him that progress could be made, well, he'd probably ask for more than just progress on the plague, but if you were to convince anyone on the council, he'd be your best bet. He's the only one who
Was
seems to be
he?
on the fence.
Oh, I was
Because
about to ask if.
the port closure is hurting his business significantly.
So if the port closure lifts, that means that Honey of Horns can get her ship in, and well, commerce can flow again. Hmm.
Yes. He runs one of the mining guilds. His clan does. Their mine is primarily mithril. They're actually one of the wealthiest families in the city as a result. Suffice to say, their export business is not doing well at the moment, and they would love to get their shipments moving. They've also recently had some labor disputes. Lost some of their workers, they probably ask for new ones. Worst places to work, though.
Well, some of the people in the camps would probably just want to do something else besides worry if they'll be the next one to die. But we had
Be able to close the camp and allow them into the city then, which means we need to solve the plague, but if he looks for an agreement, he's a fair man, and a man of his word, if nothing else.
few people like that anymore these days, but
His word isn't always great.
well, it's better than trying to ask a crocodile not to eat you.
True enough. Anyway.
But
Moonlight.
I'll get these over to your quartermaster, and
We'll drop them off at the quartermaster at the armory these were stolen from. I've already replaced half the staff there as a means of ensuring cooperation and hopefully figuring out what exactly happened. We'll send you along. Moonlight, the charts, and a stark white tabaxi woman in looks to be about your age, actually. Scratch, maybe a little bit older, a little bit younger. It's hard to tell. Kind of pops her head in. Yes, sir. Take them along. Right. You come with me. Let's go.
you as follows.
Finish up there with the armory. See what you can find. We'll meet either later today or tomorrow to address the corruption issue. Good luck.
You as follows.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
hoping.
The rest of us follow.
So where am I putting my token? I'm guessing somewhere over here.
Yeah. You begin following her through the city. She goes, honestly, it's really great if people are helping. We have enough bullshit going on here. Yeah, so the actual building you're going for is this one here. Yeah. You're quickly led through the city, and it's the kind of official nature of the individual walking in front of you. You don't know what the rank insignia is here, and she definitely seems too young to have a high rank, but people are kind of parting, giving way to her as she moves through the crowd with you following.
She could also be someone of higher status, too.
You're not really sure. You know that white is considered a lucky color for fur, but why is Jolly Rouge playing?
No, you're the DM. You control the music.
You're the DM.
I forgot I even had that on the list.
There's also Jelly Rouge, that's it.
That's the instrumental version, actually. It's just the accordion, basically.
Here we go. Let's do this one instead. Investigation sound. We'll turn down the city. Yep. Leading inside, you find the actual small guard outpost. It's a very what did I have in my notes? Yeah. The armory is a fairly small building. On top, it is just a guard outpost. There's an open window where people can basically walk up and talk. There's a single heavily built doorway leading inside, and in the room itself, there's little more than a desk and some chairs sitting around. It's basically just a little deployment point if things need to happen. You're brought in, and kind of an understanding look exchanged between the guards who close up the windows and doors behind you. Sage, you were on duty the time that's the... Sage, you were on duty... Sorry, I couldn't remember the voice. Sage, you were on duty the night of the break-in, right? Yes, Mom. Lead them down. Show them what you found. Okay. Follow me. Kind of nervous fellow leads you down further into the building, which, again, there's not much there, but at the back of the single room that the upstairs portion is, there's a heavy heavy wooden trapdoor on the floor with a heavy iron bar kind of locked over it. It would be very difficult to dislodge it without breaking through the lock. Pulling out a key, he quickly unlocks it and opens it up, revealing a ladder that only goes down a few feet to where there's actually a built staircase leading further down. I can go first. Okay. He climbs down in there and quickly disappears around the corner as the staircase takes a hard turn to the right.
Kilos follows, and hope that everyone else will follow.
I mean, yeah, we're following.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Staircase goes down further than you would expect, maybe 15 feet or more, before it makes one final turn and you enter into about a 30-foot by 10-foot room with an arched ceiling, like a vaulted ceiling. Along either side of the room are armor racks and weapon racks, most of which are barren. Based on just the number of slots, you can see there are probably over 100 blades of different kinds here. Maybe 30 to 40 different sets of armor.
So we
You've
only
recovered
found...
You recovered less than 10 sets of armor, and maybe 20 weapons.
So there is still a lot of weapons unaccounted for.
Yes. And you are encouraged to put them back at this time. The individual helps you with that. It's like, this is all you found?
What if I don't wanna?
You're going to.
Turbius, I would suggest you be quiet, or we're going to...
Turbius, I will point, is currently kneeling to fit in the room. The ceilings are fairly low in here. They're about 6 feet tall, right in the middle of the arch. It's a very short kind of environment. A lot of you are hunting at this stage.
The only one that
Pardon me,
isn't...
but my horns are in your face.
Keep your manners or I'll force a wardrobe malfunction. Keep it up. In any event, you do find finding yourselves in this room. You put the weapons away. There doesn't appear to be... Well, how about this? Who'd like to give me some investigation checks to see what you find looking around this room? I will say it's dimly lit by 2 torches, and in the ceiling you see 2 vents over the torch points, which kind of take an S curve and go up.
Mm-hmm.
I just got home, so I'm gonna hop off of here and go inside.
Yep.
I will allow one more roll because that is difficult. Torin, is you spend your time looking at the weapon racks, looking at the different setting of equipment, seeing how it's fitted, and most of it is just kind of placed on the stone floor. There isn't any, and the walls themselves seem very robust. It doesn't look like there was any means of getting through here. Garish, you're looking at... You kind of go back up and start looking over the trapdoor. There's no... Besides the normal expected amount, there's no major scratches around the key, around the lock. There's no signs of forced entry. Everything closes and moves properly. Roxby, you head towards the far end of the room, trying to see if there's anything else here. And on the ground, you see a small, for lack of a better term, drain. Just a grate in the ground. About 1 foot by 2 foot. Just cut into the stone floor and leading down at an angle, kind of away from the room itself, further back in the same direction as the back end of the room. And there's a heavy-duty... I'll get to you. There's a heavy-duty, like, metal grate over it. Just iron bars, maybe half an inch in diameter, going across.
Give those
Seems
Bars
to be...
a whip.
Quirky Scratch. You do not detect any magical objects other than the expected ones that you are all wearing upon you. In fact, the room is very bright in magical objects.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about the room itself. There's no active spell or magical feature here. But there's an echo of something. Some sort of magic of a fairly powerful nature was used here not long ago. Not too long ago, anyway.
Was there anyone in here within maybe the last hour? Maybe 2?
No one should have been back here. It was locked.
Does
Now
it?
that you mention it, no. The guard kind of looks around. More equipment is missing than before. Oh no. He begins looking over and he pulls out a leather-bound a leather-bound, effectively notepad. It's like, oh fuck, and runs up the stairs.
Does the magic feel like Garage when he does Pass Without Trace?
No, not necessarily. In fact, the magic you most identify feels far more familiar. Similar to some of the spells you use.
Must have been Fireball.
Oh god. Oh god. I was gonna say, does it feel more
It is of the transmutation school.
abyssal?
No, it's transmutation school magic.
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
I don't know
It's
what that school of magic could
basically it's
do. So.
converting something into something else.
I know, but like, wait.
And also, it spells
Your wife's character uses transmutation to turn into bear.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, yeah, but that's exactly what
why
transmutation
would you
is.
choose the man or the bear when you could be the bear?
Anywho, I lift great. Does it lift with me, or do I need to
Make me a
strength roll
strength
it?
check. Make me a strength
All right.
check.
Nope.
You heave on it, and it just doesn't move. It is remarkably heavy.
Does it feel like levitation was used?
I was about to say,
Some semblance to
before
that, yes. There's some semblance.
I was gonna
You can't
say,
be sure, though, as it is just the echo of magic. It's no active spell.
Wait, levitation, transmutation? Really?
Yes.
Oh,
It
I guess
is.
because you.
Transmutation is like the
Fighter.
effect is like affecting the physical world through magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Ah.
put it this way.
Actually, altering the physical world. Creation.
Evocation magic is summoning energy and using it for things. Things like fireball and other combat magic is usually evocation. Abjuration is defensive magic. It is based around protecting and warding. Divination is detection magic. It's based around seeing things, hearing things, learning things. Enchantment is applying a magical effect to a person or an object. So it is used for both creating magical items as well as charming people. Necromancy is necromancy. It doesn't need much description there. Transmutation is affecting the world around you, turning things from one form to another, or otherwise fucking with physics.
Which QS does a lot of fucking with physics.
Yeah. Conjuration is summoning creatures from other planes, creating passages between planes or on the same plane.
Or summoning fireball.
Or occasionally creating new shit from nothing. Should I just find a little... I can find that clip from the Joe Cat video to send him.
Sure.
I get the basics.
That'll be fine. Yeah. But yeah, so Rox, the grate is very heavy and you were unable to move it.
So even with a crowbar, it doesn't move? Because I was trying to speak before, but every time I tried to speak, people spoke over me. So I was trying to say, if it didn't work the first time, I'll pull this crowbar I've been carrying out and then pry it that way. Does a 21 work?
Yes, it does. With a great heave, you are in fact able to just lift it up and drag it over to the side, revealing the well, you already saw the passage, but allowing access to the passage below.
Is this gnome-sized? I say to the group.
QS walks over.
Potentially?
Definitely Tabaxi size for damn sure. So, most definitely gnome size.
Then you have your fault, Commander. This is how they must have gotten in. They could have easily just busted their way.
And also...
Where's this drain lead?
And also, I do detect some transmutation effects still lingering within the ether.
Do you like detect it in the drain potentially? Do you feel it stronger here?
It's kind of a, you know how when you smoke a pipe, you can still smell it even after the pipe has long since been dumped of its ashes.
Yeah, I get the idea.
Exile.
Yes.
Are there any rats or anything scurrying about in the sewer below?
Are you listening or looking?
Looking.
You can only see the stone as it slants away, but if you're listening, you can hear faint scratching sounds and the occasional squeak. It sounds like there might be some rodents nearby. With a fucking 26, you can hear them from a mile away.
Well, it definitely leads to the sewers. If
you can hear Kirby says stomach growl for lunch.
If they were a bit closer, I would be able to speak with them, but sadly, I can't see me.
Well, why don't you just hop on in? QS says, walking towards the drain.
You do realize I'm too big for that hole, right?
Come on.
It'd be a tight fit, but you could do it. There's some fear of getting stuck. You don't know how long it stays that narrow, or if it gets narrower.
You remember the part where I mentioned transmutation is like turning into a bear? You know they can turn into other things than bears, yeah?
Okay, that's not the same magic. That's druid magic. It's a little different. But yes, she can turn into basically any low-level animal.
Well, she could turn into a little...
I'll send you the song too, Goku.
It's fine, trust me. I just saying, like...
Yeah.
We
don't
need to squeeze people in like a cave diver. We have someone that can turn into the perfect thing.
I will say, if I was a player and I was small enough, you said, by this time in the conversation, we're like, I swan dive into the hole.
Well, that's what the QS was going to do.
Are you going to?
Yes.
Feet first or head first?
Feet first.
Okay. You all watch as QS just kind of shakes her head and jumps into the hole.
And she's gone.
Away.
Off you go, apparently.
QS, you slide for the better part of 5 or 6 seconds. The hole getting gradually more horizontal, and you're starting to get nervous before suddenly you feel emptiness beneath you and fall through into a tunnel that's a little bit taller than the room you're in before. And make me an acrobatics check real quick.
Acrobatics, second.
Yeah, he's determining whether you land on your ass or your feet. You landed on your ass.
It is the former, and you land right on your ass, taking 1 point of bludgeoning damage because it's not that far a fall.
Ow.
Luckily, your tail wasn't in the way, so you're all right.
Everyone hears like
Thanks to your dark vision, you are able to see that you are in a very dark and wet tunnel. The walls and floor have a thin, maybe 3-4 inch deep puddle of water. Well, the walls don't really. The walls are kind of slimy looking, and it does smell faintly of shits, but mostly just of runoff and dirty water.
I think I've been in worse situations before.
You could think
What's
of
it like down there?
Oh, slimy. Smells like some couple decade old shit.
Mostly just smells wet and like musty.
Musty. There might be some roads down here. Hard to tell.
Uh,
Everything's in scale of gray.
Do you think I could fit through that tunnel?
Oh, most definitely. Just hold it in your gut.
Okay, nope. What is it that
You can request a persuasion check if you'd like, Ghost.
I am? I'm going to request a persuasion. Is it insight to see if they're bullshitting
Kristen,
me?
make a persuasion
Yeah.
check. Ghost, make an insight check. See if you believe him.
Ooh, just
Just
barely.
barely.
Yeah, so, QS, do you think he can fit down there?
QS looks up. Yeah, he can.
Garish, you can tell that they're not that confident, but they seem to be being truthful.
QS moves out of the way of the hole.
Lotus
also-
jumps down the hole.
And also gets levitate ready just in case.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Cast levitate and pull him further down.
oh god. Yeah, I'll try going down it. Feet
Okay.
first.
All right.
That way, I'm gonna keep my arms in a position to where, if I do stop, I can fucking try to push myself the rest
To
of the
keep him
way.
down at your side.
No. They're gonna be
Up top.
above my head.
Okay,
way I
are
can-
you going down on your face then? Like feet first facing up?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you slide down slowly, feeling kind of the grating of the rough-hewn stone messing up the finish on your armor, but not causing any harm. There is a brief moment as the tunnel begins to flatten out where you find yourself no longer moving, but a quick test reveals you are not stuck, you are just lost momentum, and you're able to just kind of scooch your way further down and soon feel your legs kicking in open air, which is a relief.
Ugh. Well, you weren't wrong.
Another quirky scratch as you dodge feet with another few wiggles. Garish, you fall down. Since you were already going, since you went down at a slow pace and had an idea of what was going on, you're able to bring yourself down without needing to not fall awkwardly.
I wouldn't recommend anyone else come down here.
Maybe
Not very much
Lotus.
room. Yeah,
But everyone else don't. They would get stuck for damn sure.
yeah.
Maybe the old man.
I'll send
Maybe,
George down there.
maybe the old
Tap
man.
my fingers and George will appear in front of me.
Okay.
Could come in handy.
Sure.
You sent
You can
George
see
down
through
the
his eyes, right?
Sure can.
How far
Okay,
does
that
that
works.
work? How far can that work? Yeah, says up to the hole.
Feels about 100 feet.
100 feet should be enough.
The total length of the hole is probably about 20 to 25 feet.
Do we see any light
There's no light where you are. You are in a single vaulted, look to be brick or cut stone tunnel. And make me a survival check.
Okay. Not great.
You're not sure which way it's running.
God damn it! I lost my bearing. Being on the ground is never good.
Kiaz pulls out her sword, which is not the Moonlight sword, but is the sword that she took off of a certain captain and cast light on it.
Okay. With a brief, I mean, you could already see, but yeah, you can now see the walls are very much green and covered in a mix of bacterial and algae mats.
Do we see
The water, however, while full of some what you hope is dirt, is actually surprisingly clean looking.
Is it flowing in a direction?
It seems to be very slowly flowing in roughly the opposite direction of the tunnel entrance. As in, like, the tunnel entrance was going along the length of the tunnel before it poured in, and it's kind of going back the other way.
Man, someone could easily put levitate on themselves, got up to there, and then crawled away up, and then cast levitate on the dam. And the grey dot's up there for damn sure.
Let's make our way.
Yeah, perception check, Garish, as you're just looking around now that you can see fully.
Mm-hmm.
You're the investigator guy.
26.
Looking around, you notice a glint in the water, and looking down, picking up, you find a sword. Fairly intact looking, doesn't look like it's been submerged for long, though the leather has swollen around the grip.
So less than...
Looks like they couldn't carry all of it, and this hasn't been here for very long.
No, but
this was probably a few hours ago, maybe?
Maybe that. I guess maybe an hour or two. Now shoved it in the bag.
I hand it over to QS. Let's see if we can. Maybe they're still down here.
Which way was the sword? Was it like going up the water or down the water?
It was lying flat on the ground. It was actually kind of facing just an angle askew to the tunnel. It wasn't really pointing in any particular direction.
Yeah, but was it like towards the same way that the hole from on top was going, or is it
looks
going...
like it might have slid out the hole, gone down a little bit further, and just settled in the water.
Okay, so it could have easily
just sent down the chute.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Let's make our way down this tunnel.
Okay, which way are you going? In the direction of the water flow or the opposite?
I'm going to go with the water flow.
Okay.
Because if the water's flowing that way, if these are proper sewer tunnels, or at least used to be sewer tunnels, the water normally flows to an outlet. We can find our way out. We can find out maybe where they're leaving from.
Okay, are you telling the people up top that you're doing this?
Yes.
Okay, so the people up top do know what's going on.
And also,
George is gonna arrive and will be going along for the journey as far as he can.
Yeah.
And also what?
Also George will be with us, so it can translate or take.
It can show. It can show.
Roughly where we're going.
Sebastian.
So yeah, since I'm down there, you were trying to figure out which direction you were going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how about you make a survival check? With
Yeah,
advantage because you're above ground and can look outside.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
If you need to.
Yeah.
All right, we'll make advantage. Oh, now much better.
It's good enough. You need a 12. You believe that the tunnel is running north to south, roughly.
So if I'm looking through George's
And the water
eyes,
is flowing north.
yeah. So it's heading towards, looking through George's eye, it's heading likely towards the bridge.
Okay.
Or so the outlet would be under the bridge. I need to double check mine for later.
Are you passing this knowledge down to them, or just keeping it for yourself?
I could yell it down the tunnel because I can see through his eyes. I can't speak through his mouth.
Correct.
So, I guess if they're still, I mean, it's a tunnel. Sound travels. I'll yell it down the tunnel.
Yeah, and you guys hear echoing, "You're going north, 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 north."
The spirit of Sebastian just hovers over you.
Mhm.
The water flows
I
north.
was watching South Park and I watched The Return of Man Bear Pig last night, and Al Gore is pretending to be a ghost for half of it. It's just
Oh God.
so that's in my head.
Well, at least we know a rough cardinal direction.
Yeah.
Following the tunnel, it just continues at a very slight, almost imperceptible downward grade for quite a ways. Occasionally, you reach an intersection. Tunnels branching off left to right. However, they all seem to have very sturdy-looking metal grates installed in these gaps. One of them does have a door, but it is rusted to its hinges and is not going to be moving without removal.
Do I
You also-
see? Do I see any rodents or wildlife of any kind?
With your light on, no. You do see insects. You see an uncomfortably large centipede walking along one of the walls and scuttering into a gap. You see a spider in the corner, currently in a death match with another spider. Or they're mating, you don't know. They're just two spiders that appear to be fighting.
I think your lights is scaring off anything that I could talk to.
Yeah, right. And QS releases the light cantrip, and the area plunges into darkness.
Can I get a stealth check from both of you now? With the plus 10 bonus, remember, from Pass Without Trace.
Oh, right.
It's funny looking at my screen and seeing how you guys have your character sheets arranged, because I can see you going to click the buttons.
I'm getting one for George.
Did you roll it with disadvantage, Tristan?
No, that was a 1. With my plus 8, plus the plus 10.
Yeah, Pass Without Trace is an amazing spell, man.
Holy fuck.
Pass Without Trace is amazing, man.
Yeah.
Exile, that's like when I broke KCD2 with the stealth feature when you get drunk and I could literally walk behind people in full plate armor. That's what that is.
QS is going to use
Yeah,
your
or if you
fucking...
get the upgrades.
Okay,
in
mine would have been a
stealthy in full
24.
plate too by just upgrading your shit.
QS is going to
I-
use the Weaver of Fate and fucking adjust that again.
Oh, all the better. Wait, that was Sebastian.
That's +5 is the stat check for Weasel, which is what George is.
Okay.
But he's a glowing blue flame. It's not dark.
He would also get 10, so that's actually a 17.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
I mean, still, it's a glowing blue
Scratch.
flame.
Turns
His
out
blue
you're the
is
sneakiest
imperceptible.
motherfucker on this team. He gives Zero a run for his money. The three of you, finding that the tunnel here appears to be slightly newer, and on either side of the water trench in the middle, there is a thin but walkable stone platform. You get up on those, and you're able to move with surprising quietness. And Garish, as you're listening out, you do eventually hear a kind of squeaking of a rodent somewhere up ahead, not far. And you make out the faint movement in the distance.
We can get up to it. Maybe I could try talking to it, see if it's seen anything recently.
They are moving pretty quietly, but...
That's if we don't see anything before then.
Mm-hmm.
I would take it. I would hazard a guess. We've been looking in the water the whole time, just to see if anything else fell in it. And when we come to those crossroads,
You see
we
all
were
manner
looking.
of random things that have washed down here over the years. You see an old locket. You see a couple of coins here and there. You see a knife. Nothing from the armory, but a knife rusted over and a bit of old blood on the hilt.
Probably an old like gaming knife or something. I don't know.
Who
Not,
knows?
not what we're looking for.
You see what appears to be part of a fishing net.
How did that get
You
down here?
see
Probably got
Is it-
washed in.
sitting below one of the. So I almost got a chance to mention this. As you're walking down, you do see what looks like drainage tunnels leading upwards, very similar to the one you found originally, the one that you traveled down to get into here. And through some of them, you can make out a faint glow of sunlight reflecting off the walls higher up in the tunnel. In these drainage tunnels, not the main tunnel. There's a lot of tunnel.
So, well, looks like someone could easily. Then again, those might be, well, earth that worked into the roads and stuff above. So those might be a little impossible to open, especially in broad daylight.
Are you
Yeah.
going to be attempting to speak to the rat?
Yes.
Does speak with animals require concentration?
Pretty sure it's not. It's a just
Pass
use
without
a
trace
spell.
most certainly does.
Yes, pass without trace is concentration, but speak with animals is
No.
just an effect you can give
Okay.
yourself.
Yeah, it's a ritual spell. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it takes 10
No
minutes
concentration.
for you to test.
Yeah, it
By
doesn't.
which time pass
It's
without trace will have run out.
Yeah.
Figured you should know that.
Pass without a trace. What?
Pass without trace lasts 10 minutes. It takes 10 minutes to cast a ritual spell.
Speak with animals lasts 10 minutes. Pass without a trace lasts an hour.
Oh, it does? Oh, my bad.
Yes.
yeah. You have a timid
And that one's not
conversation with
that
the
one's
creature.
not a ritual.
I know. The beauty of a ritual spell, though, is it doesn't cost a spell slot. So are you casting that? To be ready?
Yes.
Okay, you park up for 10 minutes and cast Pass Without a Trace. About this
Yeah.
time, as you
Speak with
begin
animals.
again,
Speak
George is no longer within range. I know what I know what I said was wrong, but I know what I meant.
Well, George is going to stop where he's at, and he's going to shake his head at them, and like use his nose to motion forward.
Okay.
And George is going to just turn around and
I just
snap
saw
away.
myself mimicking the head gesture of your little fox
Yes.
guy. So it's
Yeah.
just like, I
And
just
then
know what you mean.
Yeah, George is going to turn around and just snap out of his existence from you.
Oh, be even funnier. He does a full like pointer point.
Oh yeah, he does like nose straight out.
Yeah.
No straight out, front leg forward, back leg up, just
That way. And yeah, turns around and just snaps out of existence.
his ears flick once and he's gone.
Yep.
I guess he couldn't go any further. Well,
I think I know which feat I need to take next.
There's a feat that increases the range?
There's a warlike invocation to allow you to see through a familiar that's on the same plane of existence.
Oh, and there's the feat that gives you an eldritch. Yeah.
Yes.
well, let's
It's literally just for that.
Yeah, fits your character. It's good.
see if this rodent knows anything.
Yeah, the rat, seeing you, doesn't hear you approach as you are very quiet. And you manage to get within about 10 feet. It currently appears to be kind of clawing at the wall.
Excuse me, little one.
It like leaps up and looks at you and freezes.
Relax. I'm not going to hurt you. Why are you throwing at that wall?
Looking. Searching. Food.
Do you smell food back there?
Something dead. Rot.
let's.
Do you have food?
I'm trying to remember what I have on me.
You
should
might have a ration pack stashed away somewhere.
Yeah,
QS has a few ration packs on her.
I was gonna say, yeah, I have a little bit. If you can help me out and answer a question or two. Have you seen anyone down here recently? Very recently.
Short one likes to kick me. Come through 3-4 times now. Only succeeded once. Gave him a good bite. Probably why they're kicking me.
This short one, were they carrying things? Did they have
Big
friends?
bag. No, just the one. Big bag on the back. Carried it along. Dropped a couple things, shiny things.
Did they leave out this tunnel, or did they disappear into a wall by chance?
I don't know where they went. I know they went past me, but that was the way you came from. This part, I haven't been through. Felt safer over here. Now where's the food?
QS, give him some.
QS reaches into her pocket and opens up a ration pack and throws a piece of hardtack at it, towards it.
Immediately runs over, it's like, and begins just devouring it. Oh yeah, you're not good.
He said the wall felt like death.
No. Behind the wall. Other tunnel.
This wall?
Yeah.
Give us
perception or investigation, DM?
Perception is looking, investigation is touching.
QS does a ritual.
Oh, okay.
Does a ritual
Garrosh,
on
open your ears while you look.
this one.
Looking at the wall, it doesn't, on first inspection, it doesn't really seem any different from the others, but moving along to actually just past where the rat was sniffing, you do see newer stonework. Now, it's still old, still kind of slime covered, but it looks like a side passage was bricked up at some point. And sloppily. The bricks are starting to fail, the mortar's coming apart. Definitely wasn't put together by the same people who built the tunnels. The tunnels themselves seem to be in good shape.
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, that's the minute and a half to do the ritual or detect magic, and poof, the magic is now flowing again.
You don't see any signs of magic.
Let's pass without a trace for a little while. Let's see what's behind this. Is there any obvious signs of the wall maybe moving?
It doesn't. There's no scratches in the ground or anything you can see, but you can give me an investigation check, get hands-on with the wall, and see what you learn.
QS assists by also helping.
This is good. This is gonna be a shit roll. I already know it, but fuck it.
Help action means you get advantage.
Oh.
Roll.
Oh, okay.
Roll again.
Yep.
Just once. You already got your first roll.
Yeah. Not a good roll. And not much better.
Look, for you, that's pretty okay. And especially for this check. As you put your hands on the wall, and begin to kind of feeling around, the top crumbles inwards. Bricks go scattering, and you realize it's just been kind of reassembled. The bottom is still sturdy, but the top opens up into another passageway.
Oh, this is interesting.
Someone's been using this. The mortar here isn't even holding it on.
I think the mortar is more a facade in terms of how it was constructed. Because it's rather dry. But there's like nothing there.
As you open this gap, though, you're immediately assailed with the smell of rotting flesh as well. I should say.
Ugh.
That's right. It's a
Ugh. I'm gonna.
Hey.
I'm gonna, Yep.
Let's try and see who died in here.
Yeah, we'll climb in through the hole in the wall, and I guess.
Hey! Bring me!
What?
Bring me good food in there.
What's that rodent squeaking about?
He's saying bring him food.
No. Put me on the other side of the wall.
Okay, fine.
I can climb out.
I help him up into.
You can't put your hand down. He jumps on your arm and climbs up to your shoulder. All right, what we seeing?
I don't know. I don't see anything. It smells like a corpse in here.
Yeah.
QS fucking.
If you want to lead the way, go right ahead.
QS pulls more stones
he
down.
Jumps in. Ow. You're taller than you look. I'm okay.
I would have helped you down.
So what's
Well, now we know for next time.
So-
Yeah, there's a dead guy here. Been a
What?
while. Too long.
I guess we'll head over to where he's
Ooh,
at.
shiny!
What do we see when we get to where the rat is?
It's like, so you go in, the passage takes a hard 90, so it's like around the corner. You don't have to go in to see.
Yeah, well, I said we were climbing in.
Okay, so you climb in and you see that this is not part of the tunnel system. This looks like someone's basement, though there's no light and there's just the rotten remains of a ladder in the corner that lead up to a sealed hatch. And you see a body. A deceased tabaxi. In probably his 30s, with what was once probably a fairly solid physique, wearing the remnants of chainmail and hide armor.
This looks like a town guard.
There's no insignia, but there's also on the ground the still fairly intact-looking remains of Malata, Baklata, the obsidian sword thing.
Yeah,
So,
definitely town guard.
What is a town guard doing down here?
Make a
Maybe
perception check. You might be able to determine time of death, or not perception, medicine.
QS assists. So
Garish, it's you.
Oh boy, why me?
Who has a higher medicine bonus?
I have a 1.
I only have a 1.
With a 13, you've been around dead things a lot.
QS used Weaver of Fate again.
Oh, no, 13's gonna give you a ballpark. You would guess that this individual's been dead for no more than a week. At least a couple days, but no. At least a couple days. Probably 5 or 6 days. Actually, with the 19, 5 days, died in the early evening. I'm kidding. It's about 5 days.
So the body is very much rigid and
beginning to properly rot and bloat.
Is the fur patterns and all that still visible?
Yes. Yes, it is still distinctive enough. Not so much in the dark, dim lighting, but distinctive enough.
QS
Don't
draws her draws a dagger
no.
dagger to basically put some light on it so they can.
I've got an easier solution.
On your clothes too, right?
Or there's a simpler solution.
Kios was just
I
going to
say,
put light on her dagger. She wasn't going to cut
Yeah.
into the dead guy.
Tristan,
Hmm.
give me like 3 seconds. Before you go putting light on something again, Garrosh says as he pulls out the sunblade and lights up the little area.
Holy fuck, that's bright.
Sorry. We need to see what this guy looks like.
Dead. Looks dead.
What's
Yes, that part is obvious.
Where'd the second one go?
Second one.
No, someone else was here.
What?
Not a cat. Smells weird.
What do you mean
Like
there was a second one here?
You can't smell him? Big smell, like rotten fish. Scaly, like a lizard.
Do you smell him right now?
Oh, no. I'd run. Bad smell, bad news.
What's the person saying?
I think our friend from the ship is here.
The octopus-looking one?
Either him or the one described by the people we're describing the creature that stole from the tax ship. The rat just said that
Or
fish or
you mean the
reptile
same
like
creature that you know the name of and had a direct fight with at one point?
The alligator-looking one.
Sobek.
Yeah. Yes. Sobek?
Mm-hmm.
Sobek. Yes, I'm
Oh,
very
yeah.
creative in naming alligator people, so I went with the Egyptian god. Don't worry.
Yeah, Sobek.
Yeah,
Sobek
great, that asshole.
Looking at the body, you can see that it was partially consumed and appears to have been more or less ripped apart, at least in the torso. The bite marks are very sharp, but with like ripped.
Is the fur pattern distinctive in any way?
Is the fur pattern distinctive?
Like, have we seen anyone with a similar pattern recently?
Throughout the city, you've seen other. It's a fairly typical jungle cat pattern, very more jaguar-y. You've seen others with a similar pattern. You don't recognize this individual.
Okay. Do you as the DM, do you understand where I was trying to go with that?
Yeah, it's no one you know.
Okay. Like, no one that I've seen.
No one that, if you've seen them before, you haven't been in the city 5 days.
Kivos starts looking over the body, see if she can find any type of anything that would, like something that someone would have on them for like a familial clan emblem or anything like that.
You're a bit grossed out by the current state of it, and it's a very haphazard look. You don't really see anything distinctive. Looking over where the rat mentioned, though, you see a platinum piece lying on the ground.
What the? I'll pick it up.
Okay, you found a platinum.
Platinum pieces, I don't think are going to be very common here.
No.
It's a good shiny.
What's the mouse saying? A rat?
It's a good shiny. Wait. If the money and the corpse, you don't think this guy was working with them, do you?
Maybe. And I'm gonna probably hurl if we don't do something to get fresh air.
Okay, let's... I'm gonna roll perception again, get another good look around. Make sure I don't miss anything.
You don't think you miss anything.
Okay.
The dice is sitting right on it. Okay, 15. Looking around the rest of the room, it looks like this was an old cellar. Some barrels and open crates. But it looks like it's been disused for a while. There's a bunch of empty bottles scattered about. Liquor bottles. A couple of wine. Except in one corner, there looks to have been a bunch of fabric piled up. Dirty, kind of torn up. But distinctive. An improvised bed of sorts. A small table in the corner with an unlit lantern sitting on it. The remains of food. Someone was living here. Up until fairly recently.
Go flash over to the lantern. Is the lantern hot or is it cold?
It is cold. It's
Okay.
about half full of lantern oil.
So it's cold, so he's been gone for a little bit. But he could be back soon.
That's assuming they come back.
If it's so back that he's probably looking for, well,
I wouldn't be surprised if they're considering doing something else now.
Meanwhile, above ground, you guys want to go get lunch or something? Looks like this could be a while.
Mm.
I just want to keep you guys involved in the game. If you got anything you want to say, do anything.
okay.
Oh no, I'm enjoying their
Okay.
drama.
Okay.
I'm saying pretty invested. Well, it's because I'm learning.
Yeah, you're learning. You're like, okay, so there was a lizard guy who attacked them at some point and who stole money?
I'm trying to like piece together this whatever fucking relevant the story is. Irrelevant to me entirely. But I'm just like,
Yeah, it might become relevant.
Let's-
It's okay, Kate.
Yeah,
Your
remember,
notes, give him
my
a
character
secret.
knows nothing about this,
Like
so
Arch can
I'm
understand
not-
what's
Exactly,
going
no,
on.
it's great.
I can't even pay that much attention because I'm not seeing any of this. You're gonna come out of the hole explaining this, and I'm just be like, what?
let's-
But if
let's
it is
start
so
hitting
back,
it back.
let's switch backpacks quickly.
Oh, okay.
He goes hands a handy haversack. Just in case if it is that asshole that almost killed Lotus.
The rat didn't seem like. He said he smelled. Rat. Is he was it? Did he smell like he was here recently, or?
Exile?
Oh, what?
Quit stuffing your face for a moment. The other smell.
Why? I found some cheese. I don't know why he's becoming Cockney, but I'm just rolling with it.
The other smell. The other person.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
it
him.
smell like? Was he here? Does it smell like he was here recently?
Recent enough I can smell him.
That's
Make an
fair.
intelligence check for a rat real quick.
Oh boy.
Okay, 19 minus 5 isn't that bad, actually.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 days? Maybe a little longer.
Okay.
Could
It's
be
been-
more reason. Right, nah, 2 days. I like 2 days. Good number. What's the number?
But-
Why do I know what a number is?
I
What have you done to me?
Anyway.
What the fuck is going on?
That's
I'm just having fun. This is what's going on, Hockey.
QS. Let's head back. I'm gonna.
No, what? Don't we
But-
just head up, the stairs?
The ladder's broken.
Yes, but it's in that section, it's kind of like a wooden raised part of this basement that's below the ladder. It's maybe only... It's climbable. Both of you have a climbing speed. You can get out if you open the hatch somehow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we'll climb up and knock on the hatch, I guess, and see if it... Or try pushing on it, I guess.
Kios goes
There's
up.
no response to a knock.
Kios goes up and tries to push it open.
Excuse me. It is very solidly shut. It gives just a little bit, but you immediately grasp something is sitting on top of the trapdoor.
Do you want me to give it a try?
Yeah, sure. Before I decide to use Fireball.
Please don't.
Yeah, make a strength check, Garish.
We're in the confined room. You will kill us both.
We'll say for the sake of brevity, you put some crates up so you can really get your back into it. Give me a strength check.
Oh, God.
Can you roll like 3 more times to just see if you roll anything above a 7 today? Like, this doesn't count. That's still a fail. But I want to see. Can you roll anything higher? A 9?
Yeah, that's a 9.
See if you can break 10. 2 more.
QS assists.
You can't assist with this roll.
It is a 10.
There you go. Okay, so you can make a 10. All right. Make me another strength check with advantage because QS is now assisting.
Okay.
Why do you have a Will Wheaton level dice curse, Garish?
I don't know.
Oh, hey, never mind. You just got a crit. With a great heave, you feel the door buckle and break, and a whole chunk falls off, and you're able to look up and see that there's a sofa sitting on top of this trapdoor.
What in the world? Who puts a sofa on this?
With a bit of heaving, you're able to maneuver the sofa out of the way enough that you can see into the very dilapidated-looking interior of this small shack, for lack of a better term.
I think we know
who
the owner is now.
Yeah, that's probably whoever that poor sub was.
Yep.
That was even worse, even with fresh air.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. We're gonna climb out.
Yeah, hopefully
Find yourself standing. Just also for perspective, you are now over here. You walked for a while. You find yourself standing in a... Yeah, that's why the tunnel is deep. You find yourself standing in a single-room house of some sorts. Most of the furniture has been pushed up against the doors, and the windows are drawn and boarded from the inside. Seems like whoever was shacked up in here didn't want anyone else coming in. But there doesn't appear to be many major personal effects. It's mostly just junk wood and scrap in here.
I think we found out what's been going on here.
We have an idea. But we also didn't find our artifact gnome.
No,
went
but
down the tunnel.
Yeah, the rodents said that they were heading the other way. Let's meet up with the others and get the guard involved. The fact that we found a corpse and that the corpse was partially eaten.
Yeah, that doesn't.
I don't want us being, or the rest of the party being in the dark about this.
Yeah.
We can't do it alone. Not if he's involved.
Let's go.
Yep.
And Garish, for sake of RP, you do have a handy haversack, and QS does have your backpack.
Yep.
After pulling some boards out the door, you're able to exit and find yourself standing on a kind of decrepit alley. It looks like this may not have even been a proper house, more just a shack attached to the back of what looks to be a furniture store.
Yeah, this place seems like it had better days.
At some point, we're going to need to swap back backpacks. Once we get back with the group, we'll swap back.
Yeah, mainly just in case if it is Sobek, and he's looking about.
I kind of need my backpack. It has my lead shot in it.
I thought you at least had that in a pouch.
I don't have any room in the quiver.
Hmm. And let's go.
So,
So-
the quiver is based on number of items carried, so he could only carry 18 shot, like 70 shots in total if he used the whole quiver.
Yep. And right now it's got bow ammo in it.
So where's the party at right now?
They're back in the building you initially went into, which was
here.
which is that guy. Yeah. You walk in the front and you see milling about several members of the party who have gone up from the basement after putting the grate back. You guys just see a dirty-looking Garish and QS walk back in the front door.
And we smell like we encountered a dead body.
Uh,
Oh god, don't one have prestidigitation?
I do.
What?
I don't think it would help with the smell.
What was your name again? Garage asked, pointing at the
The tabaxi.
the tabaxi guard that led us here originally.
Oh, Lieutenant Tears of Moonlight.
Lieutenant Moonlight, you may want to come with us. We found a dead body, or what's left of
like
it, at least.
Okay, yeah, let's lead away.
And also, QS grabs the sword out of the handy haversack, and also another sword.
They've been using that tunnel, so you may want to block up that grate.
Based on what the watch captain just told me, the local one, we're closing this armory. It's very clearly compromised. But thank you, we'll take that, and she just kind of sits him on the desk.
Yeah.
And she barks out a few orders and Phelan telling two of the guards to come with her, the R2 to begin gathering all the shit to move elsewhere. Alright, where's this corpse? And
QS takes lead and goes back to the dingy alley.
Yep.
Yep.
Along the way, I'm going to start filling everyone in.
Yep. This is a great time for anyone to interject with what has been learned.
We may be dealing with Sobek again.
Maybe.
All right, so we're not going to fireball half the city, right?
No. Oh, I'm gonna fucking murderfuck that person into oblivion.
What's your lord?
well, sounds like we can make a party out of it at least.
That's how I use a fireball.
I'm not 100% that it's Sobek, but considering the source was a rodent,
what?
Speak with animal.
I can speak with animal.
Okay. Sure.
I'm a ranger. It's one of the few magics that I was taught, and he mentioned a reptilian smell that had been there a few days ago. The place that we found the corpse looks lived in, and it was hidden behind a wall.
And also
in the tunnels.
And also the house that the essentially cellar was in was very much boarded up.
This place looks like they didn't want to be found.
We'll have to do a full investigation of who owns this place.
Well, you can.
And also, we did find a single platinum next to the body.
Why'd you have to tell me? Now I have to ask for it.
Here you go. And I'm gonna toss her the platinum.
Right. She puts it in a little bag and just, like a little pouch and just sets aside like. All right. Okay. Okay. Yep, you found the body, all right. She says, it just even going up to the door now that the seal's been broken.
Yeah, it
You can
smelled
smell
worse.
from outside. You can smell from outside. Yeah.
Oh my god! Is there no magic to just stop this?
Sadly,
Burn it.
no.
Burn it. Primarily.
We can't.
It's a
You
wooden
know
building,
this.
wooden foundation next to our structures. Do not light it on fire. I will charge you with arson.
I was thinking more levitate it into the sewer than burn it, but oh well.
Don't set a fire in the sewer. You'll break the brick. Buildings will collapse. Even worse idea.
Well, you can't exactly go.
No fire. She says she's putting a finger to your face. No fire.
By the way,
desert can't smell
pretty sure the gnome is behind a lot of this.
Yes, but we also, according to what
The
he told
rodent-
me, she went the other way.
Yeah, the rodent was pretty sure that, or pretty confident that she had been through there recently. So she is more than likely our culprit. She's been through there 4 times.
4.
He only knows it's her. He only knows that it's the same person because they've tried to kick him multiple times. Only succeeded once.
Huh. Well, at least the rodent knows how to pick his friends.
And also bitter. So
even better. Suddenly I like this rat.
When we get to
let's
the
see. Takes a deep breath and goes inside.
Yep.
Jumps down to the hole.
Is the rat still down there?
Yes.
Speak with animals is gone, but like
The rat is probably still down there, but there's a lot of places for it to hide.
that's true.
or just crawled into
God.
the body.
Oh,
Do you want some light?
I can see just fine. I know who this is.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. It's like,
was he a member of the guard by chance?
Yes, he was.
That explains the coin.
Fairly new recruit. Generally likable guy. Went missing about a week ago. Oh.
They probably tried to buy him out. He didn't take for it, and they killed him.
And ate him.
Yeah.
Parts of him, at least.
That or somehow they got a gator in here. Looks just like when we have to pull bodies from the water when they get to someone.
Well, Sobek is part gator, so...
Pops, I was like, you're going to tell me everything you know about the Sobek fellow, and we are going to find him and kill him. And with that, we're going to end today's session as it is approaching midnight, and I feel this is a good stopping point.
Oh.
If anyone's got any final things to say, though.
Well, you can come along with us. We were planning to head the other direction in the tunnel. According to the rat, the gnome was heading that way.
Unfortunately, it's my responsibility now to secure this crime scene, get the body dealt with, and also inform the family. Oh god, it's the worst part of the job. I have to ask you guys to go back in the tunnel, all of you this time.
That was going to be the plan. The whole reason we came back after finding out about the corpse was because of the mention of the reptilian man.
Right. I'll get this squared away. I'll station a guard here so they know to expect you to come back. Try to not open random things in the city. God knows you're opening someone's basement, and it could end poorly.
Or we might run into the gnome.
Hopefully we find this gnome before Sobek does. If they're not working with them.
If nothing else, you brought a lost guard home. We can appreciate that. NVIDIA, why did you open yourself? What are you doing? And with that, we are going to end tonight's session.
That's about.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the end of this D&D stream to this weekend. I'm your humble host, Tristan Longshot, and I have decided that I'm not going to be using voice mod, so yeah, that's the thing. I'm not going to use that. Anywho, I'm Tristan Longshot, signing off.